It's a different day, no same story, nigga. I've been with or nigga. Things just that plan hit him like my spirit. It's a different day, no same story, nigga. I've been with the reach. You look, you know my boy back. They know me, but I'm hitting that a lot. Keep that little pack of with me, always know. So they know I'm on the street and I'm scared with them. So they know getting out of line. It's the vision. I'm living, working my so they know I'm no, I got a vision. Gotta stay on some no. Nothing government. Stay on the politics.
Yeah.
Carry it with never dealt with opposition. My homie tries to be the case, we ain't a fucking pit. I'm trying to grab a brother, he caught up with lucky pitch. And I can never chase when they know that I'm got them rich. My homie try to be the case,
Where your bitch at?
she on the phone, trying to figure out what to get pitches. And I can never chase when they know I got them rich. I'm on the road, it's the business, it's where you bitch. She on, I've been asking where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get pitches. You on your own, just know why they get that bitch. I'm on the road, it's the business, it's where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get later. You on your own, yeah, with that bitch.
It's weird, right?
All right.
It didn't work.
Hey, Tona, you made this?
Yeah, no, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get later. You on your own, just know why with that bitch at. I'm on the road, it's the business, where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out where your bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get later. You on the road, just know why with that bitch at. I'm on the road, it's just the business, where you bitch at. It's a different day, no same story, nigga. I've been weak, just rapping for it, nigga. Ain't no better here, like my feelings. It's a different day, no same story, nigga. I've been really, you know my wife, getting out of line. Like my story, so they know I'm on the street and I'm sketchy with them. So they open the book, but if they start saying out of the bitch, I'm living, walking my back. They know I got a vision, gotta stay on some notes. Moving government on the stay home, it's got the politician. Had to carry it weight, not the devil, the opposition. My homie trying to be the case, we ain't a pocket pits. I'm trying to get a brother, he caught up with a lot of bitches. And I can never chase when they know that I'm got them bitches. My homie trying to be the case, we ain't a bitches. I'm on the phone, but they caught up with a lot of bitches. And I can never chase when they know that I'm got them bitches. I'm on the road, it's the business, where you bitch. Oh, you know, I've been asking where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get bitch. You on your own, just know why they get that bitch. Oh, it's the business, where you bitch at. She on the phone, trying to figure out what to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that bitch at.
Yeah.
Cause this that planet, this that
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? We back with At the Bar Radio this week.
Hey.
We back.
You see, you may be a little bit buzzed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe.
shit.
We started early. Yeah. Oh yeah. We
Is
don't,
it maybe or is it is?
it is.
It
It
is.
is. We started the show out early with some Moss and Triple X. Also had Canadian beer.
He was like, he came in and was like, yo, if I want, I need you to try this beer real quick. He got
Man.
7.3 alcohol, alcohol.
Yeah. I've been on my Canadian kick lately, man. I've been drinking a Moss and Ice all week. Went to the liquor store last night. Was like, whoa, where did this come from?
So really quickly.
Yeah.
So you've been on this Canadian kick, right?
Yeah.
So you thinking of
Got a
some
flashback of
Canadian
it.
chick?
Yeah, I got a couple of Canadian friends I need to go visit. I'm thinking about getting my passport, maybe crossing. But they got strict COVID restrictions, man. I gotta, it's hard to get in Canada. I ain't got my vaccine yet.
Yeah.
Do they make you take a test or what?
You gotta have a card to cross.
You can't even do the test.
Nah, you gotta be vaccinated. They won't let play. They don't even let the NHL players cross. Yeah.
Unless they're vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So yeah.
I mean, even going to when you go to other countries and stuff, even if you're vaccinated, you still have to have a COVID test before you.
Yeah. A lot of them are like that, but there are some. If you don't have the card, they want you to just take the test. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
Even in within the U.S., our territories and stuff. You know, I have family in Guam, in Hawaii, and you have to either provide vaccination or take the test. They're
yeah,
pretty strict.
yeah. I gotta get. I just man, just so busy working, grinding. I just had a chance to go because they say it might knock you on your ass. So I don't want to be at work. Get a shot and
The
be
thing
all
about
fucked
it
up.
is though, it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
Just because there's some people that take it and nothing happens. There's some people that take it and they're down for 2 days.
yeah.
Right.
It's similar taking similar taking like a flu shot. So you take flu shots all the time and don't happen. So you take flu shots and they get sick as shit.
So I haven't had a flu
True.
shot in 20 years.
Me neither. I don't remember the last time I
Because
got a flu shot.
I was man all the way down.
I don't remember the last time I got probably when I was a kid. But
I remember I was at Norfolk State University.
I guess it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
CP3 pulling out that Terramana. Shout out to Dwayne the Rock Johnson for
Yeah,
this lovely drink.
it's time for some liquor to get poured on the show. We only 5 minutes in, but it's at the bar.
He already pulling out the tequila, y'all.
It ain't, it's
You
a
ain't gonna
party.
go to sports before you break out the tequila.
Nah,
Do
we
you
gonna.
need help opening it?
I
Like
don't
y'all
want to spill
I
it.
feel like you are.
I'm not used to these bottles. I'm used to the 1730. Those are a lot more simple. White liquor is different.
How is that simpler?
Just
It's the
trust.
exact same
Just
type
trust.
of top.
Just trust. Me. Shit. No, that's a cork. This is some other bullshit. It's not the same.
Yeah,
Leave me
it is.
alone.
It really is. It's
Leave me
the same
alone.
concept.
It's too early to start fucking with me.
It's too early for you to be tripping already.
Leave me
And then
alone,
wait,
Craig.
this is straight, and you just start pouring.
Leave me alone, Craig.
Craig,
Leave me alone, Craig.
you gonna give me some? Dang.
Yeah.
You
Pour
want
your.
to pour me a shot too then.
He didn't pour a shot. He poured like a half a cup.
Hey, look.
Same thing to
Exactly.
me.
You gonna want half a cup anyway.
Same thing to me. So you got any sports, or should we just go straight to these crazy ass stories?
We can go ahead since we started talking about the COVID. We can talk about the NFL right now with the uptick in COVID cases, where to the fact where they've had to reschedule 3 games. One game was supposed to get played last night, which got moved to Monday night, so we'll have 2 games on Monday night. And also got 2 games moved: the Seattle, Los Angeles Rams game, and the Washington football team versus the Philadelphia Eagles game has been moved to Tuesday at 7:00. Excuse me. I'll probably be definitely doing a pregame show. Not sure what time yet because I'm going to work before the game. And definitely be doing a postgame show. We'll still have Sports on the Hill podcast on Monday night, as always, 9:00, covering Capitals and the Wizards. And we'll talk a little bit of football and talk more Tuesday night. But as of right now, Washington has, I think I just saw it's down to 16 players on the COVID list.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
some
better
players
than
got
nothing.
cleared. Yeah, it was up to 22 a couple of days ago. But I'll go over that more on the pregame show because then hopefully we'll have some more players cleared by then. Because most of the players are vaccinated. This is a classic misconception by some of the fans thinking that that they aren't vaccinated, being irresponsible, yada yada yada. They're asymptomatic because they have the vaccination.
So can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So, because I work at health.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So being vaccinated does not prevent you from getting COVID.
Yes, please say that again because these people are idiots.
Being vaccinated doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. What it
I'll
does,
explain that.
it lessens the symptoms. So if you do catch COVID, you're not going to have the symptoms when you're hooked up on the ventilator.
Well, here's the thing. It can lessen the symptoms. That's another thing.
But
People think that, oh, it's going to lessen the symptoms or it's going to prevent you. It can lessen the symptoms. Can you still catch COVID and die? Yes.
I mean, it's the same thing with a flu shot. A flu shot, all a flu shot does is helps your body build up antibodies against the flu. It does not mean that you can't catch the flu.
A flu shot, all a flu shot does.
That's the biggest misconception. That being vaccinated, I can jump out and I can run out and inhale anything. No, it's not that. It's
Or
not.
going around with a butt naked face.
Yeah, so it's not that. And I think people haven't done their research on that, and they don't. And
Yeah.
being that
So
we work in healthcare, you know, our
I
nurses told
think
us, hey,
people haven't done their research on that.
just because you're vaccinated, and actually a doctor told us, just because you're vaccinated doesn't mean that you can't
Being that we work
catch
in
it.
healthcare, you
It
know,
will just lessen the symptoms of if you did catch it. So,
because you're
And
vaccinated, and actually a doctor
the
told us,
any
just because you're
virus
vaccinated
mutates.
doesn't mean that you
yeah.
can't
You're
catch
gonna
it.
have
It will
different
just lessen
versions
the
of it.
symptoms of
For
if you did
COVID,
catch
they
it.
decided to
So
name each version. However, the flu shot,
yeah,
every year they have to
The flu
change the flu shot
because the
because there are
flu
different
mutates every
strains.
year.
Right. So
See,
people
you're
just
talking
need to
science.
understand
Well, you're
this.
talking science, and they don't want to listen to science.
because the flu mutates.
They don't want to hear it. So I
Mhm.
mean, it is what it is. Some folks gonna believe. I have a coworker on my job that's actually started berating one of our coworkers because he wouldn't got his booster. If the government tells you to jump off a bridge, what you go do is why do you need it? It's just like the flu. You know, people don't die from it. I'm like, dude, 800,000 Americans have died from it alone. But I've been fine. And y'all like, that's
Just
you.
you,
That's
right?
not it. But that's the way some of these folks think because it doesn't affect them. It's not real. I mean, honestly, if some of my folks are watching, I say this over and over again. Honestly, I think it's the syphilis in his brain that's eating it away that's making him say this dumb shit because he's a straight degenerate. So
So you're saying that this gentleman has syphilis?
most likely. From the stories that he tells and the stuff that he does, and you know, syphilis, if you untreated, can eat away at your brain. That's how, ain't that how
So
Beethoven
wait,
died? That's my
your
conclusion.
solution to this is that the man got syphilis.
Yeah.
How is it that he's ignorant?
I told
So
you, I
you
watched
decide to
forensic
say
shows. I watched forensic shows, man. I connected the dots, man. I diagnosed it.
horrible.
I'm just
okay?
saying, that's only to make sense. Other than that, is he's a fucking idiot, and that's just too
That's
Yeah,
simple.
he's just being an idiot.
That's just too simple. I
You
mean,
diagnosed the man with syphilis.
it's
Dexter
like,
is not a forensic show. All about murder.
I'm just saying,
What?
shit don't make sense.
Dexter is not.
I'm not gonna get into specifics because then it's gonna be obvious. I'm not. It's just I've said this before.
I'm
on the
sure
show.
you have.
Yeah. So I know some of my coworkers are probably tuning in. So just don't tell them. Don't tell them I said it on the air.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
tell your coworkers the man got syphilis.
we all came to that conclusion. Well, we didn't come to that conclusion, but that I put that out there, and they was like, that
Yeah,
does
see,
make
exactly.
sense.
I put it out there. See, you see how
Yeah,
that
I
works?
guess, but I told you, man. I've been with what's the website? the medical.
WebMD,
Yeah, with a
see, they
WebMD.
tell people do not go on there trying to
Man, I didn't
diagnose.
diagnose it, man. I know
You
what it is.
cannot
Man.
go on
I
WebMD and
swear.
diagnose.
See, it's some story I'm gonna tell you off air. I
That's
can't
what's
tell you
wrong
on
with the
it.
world today.
Man,
People
I'm
call
trying to tell you.
WebMD and they be like, "Oh,
When I tell you
that's what
the
that is."
story off the air, then you'll be like, yeah, I think you might be right.
So he
Stories.
got physical evidence of syphilis.
Nah, not that. I just think it went straight to his brain. That's what I'm saying. It skipped all the other symptoms and just started saying, fuck it. We gonna take this dumb motherfucker's brain.
I could see if there was like physical evidence too, but no, you just evil.
I'm just saying. The only thing that makes sense. Like, something's eating his brain away with some of the things that he tried to make logical sense out of. But but I love him because he echoes the sentiment of some of these folks that's out there. And I'm like, how do you tie your shoes and breathe at the same time?
So how many people in this country got syphilis?
Hey man, look, they got some type of disease in their brain. I'm just talking up there older. They was in the 60s and 70s. A lot of things were different then, you know,
Okay.
free love and all that good stuff. And they didn't nobody got untreated. You know, it happens, man. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
I read stuff at the health department.
What?
The health department is very informative
So why did you go to WebMD then?
because I like to do more research. I don't just go to one source. You have to do multiple. All this crazy
So
stuff.
now you a doctor and you diagnosing people.
Man, I told you, Black Dr. Phil is my other alter ego, man. I just can't prescribe. That's all.
Somebody pray over this show.
I just can't prescribe.
He's like, "Where's my oil?" Throw some oil.
Into 2021, baby, you about to get wild,
Oh
man.
no.
Oh yeah, it's about to get wild.
Is that all you have in sports?
I hope so, because he
Oh,
done diagnosed the man with syphilis and
I
everything.
forgot,
How
man.
we
We went
get
off.
here?
I don't know, man. It's early. I don't know. I've been drinking.
All right. Well, let's get into some of this
Is
craziness
that all you have in
before.
sports?
Well, wait, can I get my shout outs?
Oh, definitely.
We'll do some sports later.
So I
I
got
guess.
some shout outs.
I remember later.
Oh, God, you don't remember nothing.
I do.
So.
I do. Well, maybe.
Well, my shout outs are shout out to the Amazon
Oh,
driver
definitely.
who delivered a box to me but decided to walk clear across my yard. Problem is that I have inflatables in my yard. So what does that mean? That means he done unplugged something, then pulled the anchor out the ground, the whole nine.
Punk some of my.
Right. Like, why would you do that? And Amazon now has, like, after you receive an order, they'll ask how the order is.
Mm-hmm.
And then in that, they'll ask about, like, whether or not they walked across your yard and stuff
Mm.
like that. So clearly, Amazon frowns upon that.
That's your ass, Mr. Amazon man.
So I'm going to go ahead and respond, like, oh, nope, he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to check my doorbell camera in a few.
Look, you can make a TikTok video of that.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, make
going
that shit go
to
viral.
go ahead and post that. If I caught him, like, let's say he fell, yeah,
Send it to
it's
me.
going.
I'm gonna throw a track on
There you go.
it.
The oh no,
Yeah.
oh no. So shout out to him. Shout out to
Look, you
PG
can make a
County
TikTok video of that.
Police
Oh, see, I ain't messing with you on that.
on not all of them, but the one that decided that he wanted to hold up traffic on Branch Avenue right at the exit to get onto 495 South this
Today?
evening. Yes, for absolutely nothing.
I do not condone this statement.
Okay. You know, look, I always say that there are good police officers and then there are idiots. They should not have ever been put onto the force. And you know my previous job, so you know I know who should be and who should not be.
I haven't had any issues lately, so I'm not touching this. I
Well,
don't need no
I feel
problem.
like Prince George's County Police Department should strengthen their psych evals
Well,
before um, allowing people to get onto the force.
I'll actually piggyback on that a little bit. I actually talked to an officer that lives in my neighborhood. We were talking just a couple of days ago
Mm-hmm.
because I told you the first car sale I made was the third highest ranking police official in PG County.
Right.
And we were working on trying to do a collaboration of some type of community and police. But I was speaking to my neighbor, and I told him, yeah, he recently retired. He was like, yeah, they're doing a whole revamp of the whole department, and
Mm-hmm.
even the good leaders they're getting rid of because they're under the old regime, and they're trying to change the culture, change the thought process,
Right.
and the officers that's coming on board to not have those same prejudices and thought process of the recent problems that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, hopefully we will see some change coming forward. Like I said, I'm working on some community stuff to try to, maybe next year when the weather gets right, and hopefully we won't be, have to be quarantined and all of this crazy stuff.
Right.
We can do something like that. We're also working on some stuff with Charles County Attorney General and the guy that's running for sheriff down there, working on getting some stuff, interview set up for that. So we're definitely trying to get involved in some of this political stuff that's going on, because we talk about making change and what needs to change, but it's time that we try to see if we can help make some of that change happen.
Right. But so shout out to the one that ain't too bright.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Prince George's County Public Schools. So we know that, Omarion has taken over. For those who know what the real variant, the COVID variant is Omicron.
Did you see the TikTok video where they had them doing the
Yes.
Mario?
Yes. But
That
for
was
some
dumb.
reason, everyone thought it was Omarion. I thought it was a Decepticon. Like, if you're a Transformer
Shout out to
fan,
Unicron.
right? If you're a
Which side
Transformer
was
fan,
he on?
that's Decepticon. He's the bad one. That's Unicron's baby. That's Unicron's baby. Omicron. But so anyone who knows anything about Transformers, you understand what I'm saying. But some people thought it was a Mario. But Prince George's County Public Schools has been shutting down, different schools because of outbreaks. Understood that it's a concern. However, please do not send a text message to the parents at 5 p.m. on a Friday telling them that their children will not return until the middle of the week, meaning on Monday morning, your kid cannot come into the school. I have a teenager, so I'm okay. But if I had a younger child and now I need to get a babysitter at 5 p.m. on a Friday? That's kind of messed up.
Okay, the weekend.
No, how you gonna get the businesses are closed? Who you gonna call to get your baby?
What you mean picking them up from school on
No,
Friday? I'm talking
no,
about for
Monday
Monday. Yeah,
morning. What you gonna do Monday
you got,
morning?
you got the weekend.
No, how you gonna do that? The places are closed.
Yeah, babysitter that you on the regular.
You gonna have to call a babysitter. You can't call a facility.
Oh no. I mean, when you get a babysitter in the meantime, and then
That's
you gotta
messed
go.
up.
Yeah, it's messed up, short notice and all.
I
Yeah.
mean, it is because we dealt with a lot of situations. Like I know a person who almost lost their child because not signing in for the virtual school.
Hmm.
Yeah, they found that very serious.
Yeah, because they're not going. That's truancy, and your kid's not going.
I mean,
But
it is because
You know,
all
she
the
asked
kids
me that wasn't helping her.
situation.
She's at work and her sister's supposed to be helping her.
and the baby wasn't going,
I know a person who
and they hold the parents accountable.
Hell yeah, they took her to court and everything.
Well, that's all. My son was in. Y'all know how I feel about my child.
yeah they
When they were in virtual school, when I got it was like the first quarter. I got a letter saying that
she had some of
you
them
got a truancy letter.
she's at
I
work.
was like,
She's supposed to be helping.
You gotta walk
I'm
to the living
sorry,
room.
what?
Man. You gotta walk to the living room.
He didn't
Hell
walk to the living room. He walked across the bedroom to his desk and sat down and did his. Why are you not going to school? Why? Why are you missing class? I'm
That's great.
confused.
That's great.
You put a knife on the bitch.
I don't remember.
You know, that's a yes or no question. That
He
shouldn't be
probably
out.
got the shoe. If he talked back, then the knife come
You know
out.
what? When I threw a shoe at him, he said he tried because my kids tell me all the time that I'm Mexican. I'm not. I'm not Mexican. I'm mixed with a lot of things, but I'm not Latino.
Yee.
See, you trying to get us put off the air.
You started it.
But apparently,
That's a yes or no
the
question.
Latino community, they're used to mothers throwing shoes. I didn't know that was a thing, like a flip flop.
Man, black
In
mothers
particular.
too.
I said the same thing, but apparently Latino mothers strictly throw shoes, like flip flops.
But they don't have the power to make it go around corners, though. That's the difference.
Well,
Black mamas
let me
do.
tell you something. I was sitting on my bed. I threw that shoe clear across my room, clear across the hallway into his room,
See,
and it hit him
told
when
you.
he was standing in his.
Told you.
You gotta get in.
That's mothers only can do
I
that
play
shit.
softball. I play softball. in high
Mother's the
school.
only one that can do that shit. Make shit bend corners like the Matrix.
I threw that thing, man.
Like, as soon as they have a baby, they get that special power and shit.
Cause well, see, here's the thing. You gotta know where to throw it so it can bounce off the wall and hit the baby. That's it.
Should be in the NFL and shit. Pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, but they won't let the women in. That's the problem. They should.
Another lingerie football league.
I seen.
Yeah. I watched that whenever
But
I
yeah,
can.
so shout out to PG County Public Schools. I'm not necessarily upset that they closed the schools, but I feel like the execution was terrible.
We're talking about PG County Public Schools.
But no, when they shut down in March of 2020, it was surprisingly organized. And the kids were able to, get their things and their belongings. They were stressing to them, you don't have to take everything because you're going to be able to come back and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they were able to come back and get it, but it was organized compared to this. This was chaos. You had teachers still sitting in the school, didn't even know that the school was shut down.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so shout out to them. I'm done with my shout outs for now.
Okay. Oh, let's talk about sports real quick.
Well, what that is?
Y'all see that KO?
Oh yeah, we do
Yeah,
got
I
to
saw
talk
that.
about both of them.
That's quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Which one? You said both of them? Yes.
Yeah,
For
Frank Gore.
somebody, I'm not naming no name. Somebody fell out the ring a little bit.
Oh, and oh boy, yeah, Frank Gore,
Yeah, that was
ex
bad.
football player. He
Right.
decided to take his chances in the ring and
He
didn't.
need to stay home.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well. If you want to see a funny account of the video, I gotta give a shout out to my man DJ Meechy Meech. He always puts out the best parody video. Go check him out on IG. And then yeah, Jake Paul knocked the mess out of Paul Woodley in the sixth round with a straight overhand right that put him straight to sleep. No count, no nothing.
Wait,
Fight over.
you said Jake Paul knocked out who?
Paul Woodley, UFC fighter. was that?
Tyrone.
Tehran.
I thought it said Paul when I looked at
No.
it.
Jake Paul.
I think
Oh, that's right. It probably said
Yeah,
Paul.
this the
But
liquor.
God damn
This
it.
the liquor talking.
I was trying to research. I was trying. Just didn't work out.
Yeah, I posted the knockout a couple times.
Man, that shit was crucial.
He kind of went
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah,
Took a nap.
he did a Nate.
Yeah, he took a nap.
Yeah, he went to sleep.
And I
And
keep
here's the
telling
thing,
folks,
I can't stand that.
that's what I was about to say. I keep telling folks, no matter how much you don't like the Paul brothers, they are taking this boxing seriously. They're rich. They have nothing to do but go to the gym, and they're taking this seriously. So you can sleep on them if you want, and you get in the ring. They can knock you out if you give them the opportunity. And we just saw it. He gave an opportunity, and he went night night.
And let's stress this: they Disney rich. Okay,
Yeah.
they got their money initially. That's how we the I don't want to say the culture, but that's how a lot of people found out about them. They had a Disney show. They were Disney kids.
Yeah.
So they took that and expounded, and then they tried to dabble in hip hop. It was awful.
Oh, I don't even.
It was really
I'm
bad.
glad I don't know about.
But because they were Disney kids, those kids were going to get this music.
Yeah.
It was like awful kids bop. Like that's how I feel about it.
You know, there's a culture of for white black artists.
Yeah, and that's them.
Yeah,
That's
and
them.
the people who flock to that shit.
Mm-hmm. It was,
Hashtag Vanilla Ice.
it was Vanilla Ice was better though.
Bing,
Real
ding,
talk.
ding, ding,
At
ding,
least Vanilla Ice like it was kind of catchy.
That shit was alright.
I mean, it's like the island boys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, but
Hey.
I think the Paul brothers were worse, in my opinion. That's bad, right?
I got a friend request somebody named Bertha. I was looking at my phone. I
you know
got.
what? No more drinks.
I'm just saying, I got a friend request somebody named
Shout
Bertha.
out to Bertha.
Shout out to Bertha.
Yeah, Big Bertha coming for you,
So-
CP3.
This has been a terrible week in hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Just today, Draco the Ruler was stabbed backstage. A fight broke out,
Mm-hmm.
and he was stabbed backstage, which is just this is sad. This is like I feel like every other week we're rapping.
Yeah.
Also, Tango Kid lost his battle with cancer.
Yeah. Which is crazy because I really thought he was doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, he had stage 4 though.
Yeah, he did. But he had a surgery kind of recently.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I remember I think I reposted when Ella
Ella was
was
there,
in
yes,
there.
with the picture.
Yeah.
That was earlier this month, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Hub, who was the bass player for the Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
he passed away.
Oh damn.
Mhm.
Man.
So like, it's been a tough week for hip hop.
And this is not hip hop, but this is R&B, so it kind of goes back. So there's a cold case from 1982,
I saw that.
and in the case they found a body in a trash bag. New developments and scientific developments. They were able to test the DNA of the person, and it was a former member of the OJ.
Yes.
This is from 1982. So definitely, I mean, even though he's clearly been gone all this time, to get that confirmation is still it's bittersweet. You're now able to lay that person to rest, but now it is definitely confirmed
Yeah.
of what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I was reading a particular article. One of his daughters actually passed away in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're trying to contact the son.
Yeah,
They're trying to find the son
yeah,
about the remains and stuff.
yeah. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one right there.
Unfortunately, I
Yeah.
was reading
So it's been
one of his.
it's been kind of rough.
daughter
Just hold your loved ones close.
Yeah.
That's
So-
I mean, that's all we can say.
Now they're
Happy
trying
heavenly
to find
birthday
the son.
to DMX.
Yes,
They're trying to find
indeed.
the son.
Happy heavenly birthday to my uncle Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
Friday was his birthday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one right there.
I think it was the only two. It was the only two. Oh, and then
Yeah.
just
So
rest in peace to my
happy
stepmom,
heavenly birthday
Abigail Johnson. She'll be laid
to
to rest
DMX.
this Wednesday.
Happy heavenly birthday to my uncle Tyrone.
Definitely gotta have to
Friday
talk
was his
about
birthday.
that. Uh,
Um,
yeah, let's go back to hip hop real quick. So Biz Marquis' manager was a snitch.
Yeah.
those were the only two. Oh, and then
Yeah.
Long
rest
time
in
now.
peace to
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
stepmom
I saw
Abigail
that.
Johnson. She'll be laid to rest
He was he was
Snitching
a
for
whole
years.
informant.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he snitched one time.
Yeah. He was a career informant. Like,
A whole informant.
like,
So Biz Marquis' manager
That
was
was
a
a
snitch.
shock.
yeah. So here's the thing.
Long
So
time.
I had a buddy that worked for the DEA,
Hmm.
and he told me when he worked for the DEA
Yeah.
that they had open case files
Yeah.
on
He
Snoop,
was a
Yes.
career informant.
Scarface,
Like,
Birdman,
Hmm.
and another big time.
A lot of hip hop artists they
yeah.
had open cases
So
just
here's the
because
thing. So
that's
Yeah.
what they wanted to do.
Yes.
I had a buddy that
Yeah,
worked
me
for
and
the
CPT
DEA,
was talking about that. So it's
and
just crazy.
he
Like,
told
he's
me
a
when he
whole
worked for the
snitch though.
DEA
Yeah.
that
Like, not
they
half
had
a snitch.
open
Like,
case
he was
files.
But he was
not even a
snitching.
snitch.
He wasn't necessarily
Scarface,
snitching on the industry. This
Birdman.
dude was
He was
snitching on the streets.
Like, that ain't, he was an informant. He was an informant. Like, he was the proper snitch.
And this
Hmm.
is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just
Y'all
crazy.
talking about
He
open
was a
cases.
whole
I'm really
snitch,
gonna be
though.
quiet.
Like,
Oh,
not half a
Lord.
snitch.
Hmm.
I got warrants. No, I'm
Not
just
even a
playing.
snitch. No.
But yeah, I
Oh,
mean, well, I got my license renewed, man. Ain't nothing happened, so I think I'm
Like,
good.
that ain't, he was an
I
informant.
go to NBA.
What you mean ain't
He was
nothing
an
happened?
informant.
They gave it to me.
He was
You
a
know,
proper
normally if you got
snitch.
warrants or something, you know, when you go to get it, they got the
So
troopers in
that
there.
see, I don't have these problems. So that was a concern of yours?
Sometimes, you know, I done moved around a couple of times. Some things might have
What?
got lost in the mail. I don't know.
I can see if you be like, oh, I ain't paid one of them DC tickets. I don't know
Man,
if they going,
I don't know, man. The way
Well,
they be
they
going
don't.
now,
If you
man.
got a DC ticket, I think I talked about that before. If you got a DC ticket, they will not enforce it in Maryland or Virginia.
Not anymore. I thought
No.
they changed the law. They said they do now.
She requested and they turned her down,
Oh, but yeah,
which
you
is
know,
good because I got a $300 ticket.
I don't go to. Only time I go to DC, I catch the
Right.
lift
And
or
they
I
was
catch
like,
the metro.
if you don't pay by such and such date, it's on double.
Told you I catch the metro. That's why I ended up catching metro to the video shoot.
Well, it's probably in your best interest.
Yeah.
To,
I don't. Yeah, I do lift. I don't drive. It's too many speed cameras. Too many people that can't drive. Too much construction, and then you got to find somewhere to park. Then if you don't, you got to pay for parking $25. No, I catch the metro, get out of the Capital One, and call it a day.
So I got something I know CP3 has a comment for.
Uh-oh.
So Future
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
this nigga.
said that he is bigger in the streets. Damn.
I couldn't even swallow that shit. Though.
How many times have you said that?
What?
That statement, man. I couldn't. I just should have
He
said my
said
stuff.
that he is bigger
So I got
In the
something I know
streets.
CP3 has a comment for.
than Jay
So
Z.
Future
So I have questions.
said
So
I gotta
he's
talk
bigger
for a
in
second.
the streets.
I have questions. Here's my first question. What is in the streets now?
First of all, the only reason
Why
most people
people
know
so
who
stressed?
because for this skinny crackhead looking
Oh,
motherfucker
don't do him like that.
to even suggest, even mention himself in the same sentence with Jay-Z,
I gotta let y'all talk.
he's mostly known for
Yeah.
getting Cardi B pregnant and marrying her or whatever.
But what?
Ain't he the one that was Cardi
You
B?
all wrong. Oh my God!
that
Put the liquor down.
exactly. That tells you how much I know about this
No,
dude. He
Future,
means
Future
nothing.
is Sierra's baby daddy.
See, yeah, one of the
Remember, he
That's-
didn't marry her though. He
well,
has
that's
like
what I
a
said, that's the-
million kids.
and that's to say, like I said, that's the thing he's most famous for. I couldn't even remember the person he knocked up.
But
That
you
tells
said married.
well, married. I don't know which one. Like I said, I don't know who Cardi. I thought it was one of the Migos mother. That's what he looked
Yeah,
like.
no.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't. That's he's so irrelevant. I don't know who the fuck he is.
Future kind of started you should know him because he started a movement that you seem to not really like.
With the skinny jean movement.
No, like it's a,
that
it's a
mumble rap
style
bullshit.
of rap. Yeah, it's a style of rap that you openly express that you didn't.
I mean, honestly, the only track that I've heard him on that I liked him on was a track that he was on with Jay Z, and he just sang the hook. That's the only song that only reason why I know his name because he was on a song that Jay Z did, and he was on the hook. I think the Drake joint. I can't even remember the name of the song. It's a hot joint. I just can't think of it. But he's irrelevant. He does. For him to
Dang, this
even.
man called. I wouldn't say he's irrelevant. However,
I mean, in the scale of real hip hop, in my opinion,
that's
he's not even a
yeah,
blip on
that's
the
your
radar.
that's what I'm saying. That's your
Yeah.
opinion. I don't feel like he's irrelevant as a whole. I just don't feel like he's as big as he thinks he is. And that's because he's not a small artist. You know, like he has a following. I'll give him that. But when he says big in the streets, exactly what does he mean? Because
Well,
Jay Z is not even just an artist; he's an entire corporation at this point.
so my thoughts on this is Jay Z started in the street. Jay Z didn't start off with big. He started. He was a sidekick to Jazzo. Um, and Reasonable Doubt was a hood album. It wasn't really commercial. He didn't really get commercial until he dropped the joint with Hard Knock Life,
My thoughts on this
Mhm.
is
and then people started seeing him
Jay Z
in a
didn't
different
start off
light.
a billionaire.
Right.
He started
Um,
as a sidekick to
But
and then
he
he
took
built these,
that hustle to corporate America. That's
yeah,
what he's
and
doing now.
Reasonable Doubt
and
was a
you
hit
know,
album,
I think
right?
Future
It wasn't really
Future's real big
commercial.
in Atlanta,
He didn't really get commercial
but
until
he's
he
not as
dropped
big as he could.
the
And
joint with
Future's not
Hard
as big
Knock
as he
Life.
once was. Like when Future first started,
And then
Yeah.
people
you
started
know,
seeing him
everything was
in
Future.
a different
Yeah.
light.
Now,
He was all
Um,
he's in more places than you
and
probably
he
realize.
built these.
That's what
I
it
mean, you
is.
know,
I openly admit
Yeah.
that's probably true.
you know,
And
like
you
there was a
know,
lot
I
of
think
people
Future,
like Fetty
Future's
Wap.
real big in
Yeah.
Atlanta,
There was a lot of people
but
copying him,
he's not
designing
as
him.
big as he
Like
could.
it was
And
dudes
Future's not as
from
big
the
as he
East
once
Coast
was,
copying
right? When
Future
Future
style.
first
Well, that's
started.
what I just said to
You
CP3
know,
that he was
everything was
the
Future.
pioneer of the type of
Now,
hip hop that CP3 is not really quite a fan of.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
But the fact of the matter,
you know,
because he was the
like
originator
there was
of
a lot of
that,
people
yeah, you know,
like
he
Fetty
he
was
was
Wap.
yeah.
auto
There was a
tune the
lot of
track.
people copying
Like
him,
that's
designing
kind of
him.
what he
Like
was
it
known
was
for.
dudes from the East
The
Coast
the
copying
rap
Future style.
singing melody like type thing.
And now he has like, cause he kind of like, I don't want to say fell off, but he's kind of fall into the background. And then he
Yeah,
was on The Masked Singer, so now there's a new door open for him
yeah.
as far as
So
people
he
like,
was
oh,
auto
Yeah,
this
tune,
guy,
I mean,
you know.
he
kind of what he was known for.
This nigga was on a Masked Singer.
The
Yes,
rap
a lot of
singing
people were on The
melody.
Masked Singer that you didn't realize. Faith was on The Masked Singer. Tony Braxton, Bow Wow, a lot of
well, Busta Rhymes was on there.
yeah, Buster was he did well, but I knew it was
I was
him
about to say how you
immediately.
don't know his
Yeah, I knew,
butt.
but here's the thing: some of them, were, of course, this is
Shoot, do
before
wop, do
DMX
wop.
passed away. But like some people were like, "Oh, is that DMX?" I'm like, "What?" You know. But there were a lot of Lil Wayne was on there. Yes, and T Pain was the first winner.
I remember that he won it.
So a lot of people on the Masked Singer. It has a following. So don't come for the Masked
Nah, I'm
Singer.
just saying. I always want to watch it, but I can't get through. I just want to see who the people are. I just can't get through the performances. I can't sit there and watch it.
Okay, so you know you can go to YouTube, right?
Yeah, I just never do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But amazing, like they just had their finale recently.
Who won?
Yeah. Should I say that as a spoiler?
You
Because
said
like
it
if we
just came on
didn't,
TV.
it did come on TV already.
Fuck 'em. Who won?
But I'm mad that Faith didn't win. But Jewel, I don't know if you
Oh,
remember
for real,
her.
dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched.
And the second person
Mhm.
was Todrick Hall. He's amazing. I love him. Um, you may not know him because he's not as big as he could be. But
What, the actor or something?
well, I first came in contact with Todrick Hall years ago when someone did a parody of Beauty and the Beast. You know, it's like an opening scene with Belle, and it was like really ratchet, but it was well put together. Like the music was on point. They changed the lyrics and everything, and it just flowed. I loved it. That was Todrick Hall, and he did a lot of little parodies and things like that. So he kind of got his following from going viral on social media. Then after that, he started putting on like plays and things like that. My daughter was like, "Why is he not like this huge Broadway star at this point?"
I've
Because
never heard of it.
yeah, and a lot of people haven't, and that's I wish it was different, but it's not. Um, he is a part of the. He's a. I don't want to say he's a part of. I don't want to assume that he's a part of. However, things that I've seen, it appears that he's a part of. If not a part of, then at least an advocate for the LGBTQ community.
Mhm.
But Podrick, his personality, his drive is to me, and his talent. He's able to just throw some stuff together, and you're like, wow, who thinks of these things? Like I said, the parody of the Beauty and the Beast, like she was in the hood. It was the funniest thing ever. I'm gonna make sure y'all see that by the end of the evening. Y'all know how I operate. But a lot of stars go to the Masked Singer to reinvent themselves or find their inner artist voice.
I mean, Mark the work is now you got Samsung commercials.
There you go.
Who that is?
Future. He did amazing. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not many hip hop artists go as far as he did.
Well, once is I look at Future. He's I don't know why would you compare yourself to Jay when you know that the catalog is not the strongest. And Jay is popping in the streets. Here's the thing.
Well,
People my age like Jay. People renegade age like Jay also.
Mm-hmm.
They're like he appeals to all age groups where like a certain age group is only going like Future.
your catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, brother.
And
Jay's
there are plenty of people that you can compare to.
Yeah.
That ain't
my
one.
age.
It's plenty of people that he can say he's better than.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. However, I feel like
But this is a dude who claims,
like a certain age.
oh, I'm not a rapper, I'm a trapper.
yeah,
Well,
that's stupid.
Well, Jay-Z said, I'm not a rapper, I was a hustler 20 years before you even said it.
Yeah.
There are plenty.
But my thing
You
is
just replaced
to,
one word.
to come for Jay, I feel like that's stupid because if there was no Jay,
But this is
most of you guys wouldn't be here.
I'm not a rapper. I'm a trapper.
And are you on his platform?
Jay-Z said,
Are you profiting and doing well? Were you ever doing well because of his platform? That's directly Jay.
Exactly.
So don't come for him. That's how I feel like.
Well, I think,
What?
well, here's the proof is in the pudding. When DJ Khaled did that song, he was like, oh, by the way, you're going to be on a song with Jay-Z and Beyonce. And you think you about to rap? No, you get to do it the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did that say?
Not to necessarily put Jay up on like this godly pedestal.
Well,
But I feel like
Khaled did that song.
he
Like, oh, by the way,
is a pioneer. He's paving the way for you. And for you to come off like that, I hate that. I hate when they do that.
I mean, just say that you popping in the street.
There you go. You could have left it at that. Why do you have to try to say, "Oh, I'm bigger than," or "I'm better than"? Like, I'm confused.
And see, when I said that to somebody the other day, and they told me I was wrong for saying that you can give a compliment without being passive aggressive.
Yeah, you can. You are. First of all, me personally, I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm not. The only person that you should ever be in competition with is yourself. Be better than what you're doing today.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, you be better than what you were doing today. Don't worry about what everybody else do. There is enough room for all of us to win. So why are you trying to put down the other person? And then in this case, it's not even just that you're putting down. You're just kind of being like ridiculous at this point.
I mean, it's one of those things that's saying. One of the things I love about this show is we promote networking and we have everybody from the podcast.
Put somebody down.
everything. Do I think that we have a great team? Yes. Do I think that we have a great podcast? Yes. Do I have to put down every motherfucking podcast out there to say that we great? No.
It's one of those things that's saying.
We can. We don't have to.
I mean, there was a point in my
Here you
life that I
go.
used
Huh?
to.
Here you go.
That working in unity. We have everybody.
But
from
that's
the
my thing.
podcast,
Everybody has their lane.
Yeah.
everything. Do I think that we have
Like
a great
you don't,
team? Yes. Do I think that we
you
have
don't. Nah,
a
you
great
don't have to
podcast?
do
Yes.
that.
Do
And I
have to
feel
put
like that's
down
one
every
thing I
motherfucking
did.
podcast
When I'm
out
gonna
there
be
to
real
say-
with you, when
to say
Cardi
that
first
we
came
great?
out, she irritated my soul. But one thing I
So
did
good.
like about
I
her
mean, there was a point
was
in my
that
life
she
that I
was
used to.
saying in reference to her and Nikki, like it's enough room for all of us.
Oh, congratulations to Carly B because
Yeah.
she actually has not one,
Mm-hmm.
not 2. She has 3 singles that are diamond.
Yep.
That's 10 times platinum.
Yep. Kudos to her. And here's the thing.
Whether you like her music or not,
That's
you
a,
gotta pay homage to
and
that.
that's how I feel. And she really harps on all of us can be out here eating.
Yeah.
She actually
These
has,
female, we don't have that many female
she has
hip hop artists.
But that's the thing. Even at the height of her popularity, she gave like City Girls a feature.
Amazing.
Whether you like her music or not,
She's like, oh, okay, Megan, up and coming. I'm working with you too.
Showing everybody we can all eat. And I like that because they have that stigma of, and it wasn't always like that. So let me just, that there can only be one top female. That's some bullshit because growing up, we had Salt Pepper, we had Queen Latifah, we had MC Light, we had Antoinette, we had Sweet Tea, we had
Sister
Vanessa
Soldier.
we had Sister Soldier,
Yo-yo.
Yo-Yo, we had the Conscious Daughters of Rap. I can name.
And they were able to come together.
Yeah.
They were able to do projects together, do concerts together, you know, do interviews together.
It's only when we got to the little Kim Foxy Brown era, they started doing that it can only be one shit.
Well, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown had their little
beef.
beef, but
I
I mean, and
But at
that's
the
what,
same time, that's not even true because there was times when Lady Mob was the Patti LaBelle remix shit. They had everybody on it.
Yeah.
And actually, Missy Elliott actually mixed the song.
which I love.
But you know,
Lady Marmalade.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, you like that Leah, didn't you?
I'm sure he did. The way he said
Yeah,
it,
Maya Bush.
said Maya.
Yeah, I bet.
She been out there a little bit lately.
I mean, potential.
Oh my God.
But there were plenty of when Missy was hot, Eve was still hot. Like there was this, you know, so there's plenty of room for the Megans, the Kellys, and
He on time. Time for a video break. I lost track of time.
what's going on, sir? What's going on at the bar?
What's going on? This is A.N.T.
Not much, not much.
What's going on, bro?
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Just enjoying the holidays with the family.
That's a good thing. Gotta enjoy those times. Gonna get a lot of them, and gotta enjoy them when they get here.
What's going on? This is A.N.T.
So we were in the middle of talking about
How y'all doing?
as an artist, I would love to get your thoughts on this. So we were in the middle of actually
doing all right. Just
talking about
enjoying the holidays with the
the
family.
females like Carly B had just got 10 times 3 singles 10 times platinum diamond, and you know how there was a stigma that could only be one for a long time. And how that wasn't, you know, for my area, it always wasn't like that. And as an independent artist, how do you feel about stuff like that?
Like Carly B.
I do think that as far as in like me,
10 times platinum.
female artists and then just the height that she can reach as far selling wise.
Yeah.
One for a long time.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because it is something like that, and because there are dope women artists that but it feels like they only they only had a certain style for them. But I feel it's getting a little bit better. With Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, there's more people are breaking through more than they had for a while. but it's a slow process with that because I feel like with female artists, people they hear them speak and everybody's looking for it on the underground circuit and when you coming up, everybody's down for it. But then at the same time, when it gets to a certain height, it switched up and stuff like that. They ain't looking for them anymore. Are they not hitting where they need to, or people aren't letting them in the game. But I feel like she's actually broke through and stayed consistent with a lot of stuff. And I think it's about consistency and a team around you as well. And so you definitely got to have a strong team that just keeps pushing, and you have to have that mindset as well.
It's a very good answer. And so that you talk about consistency, a mindset, and a good team is not just exclusive for adult females. That's for any up and coming artist. But definitely,
Yeah,
those are something everybody has.
I may think that some people don't like. They just don't get the push like.
So that you talk
I
about
think some females
consistency,
get set
a
up to
mindset,
where
and a good team
like
is not
I
just
don't know, I
exclusive
don't want to say
for adult
mismanaged or whatever
females.
like that, but even like didn't Megan Thee Stallion have a bad deal at first when she was coming in, into the game?
Yeah, she
It's
did.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like it's already a little bit of them breaking through as it is, and then they get mismanaged or whatever else and make it even harder. Because I just think that I don't know people say they want that stuff, but when it gets to the point, then look how many female artists actually are that hot, So
Mhm.
I can name off the top a bunch of female artists that these days deserve that.
We go ahead.
Right. Tell us.
Yeah.
Well, we got all different kinds of people from um, people that were setting first with the Young Mods, and then we got people where Rap City, and we got and then it's so many like in the West Coast. I know that there's a chick that was Snow the Prophet. She was put stuff in the circle for a long time. Um, it's a
I
couple other
remember
ones I
Snow the
can't think of
Prophet.
the name right now, but like there's some female artists that are killing the game, and they have their own unique style, but it's not the style that's fitting with today's stuff, or the radio type of image
Right.
and all of that stuff. So then they don't get the play they deserve.
Yeah, there's like Tara Whack, there's Jean Grey.
Well, he said Young and May.
Yeah.
She's a porn director now. So
Huh? Say,
Really?
huh?
okay, I just
Hmm.
let y'all know about that. Yeah,
My people just had her out in West Virginia. She performed.
she's been doing
What
stuff
type of performance
lately,
did
but
she do?
we haven't seen. She's a
Yeah, just
director.
like Tara
No.
I
Whack.
said a
Hmm.
director. All you heard was porn. I said she's
Hey
a
man,
director.
all I know
So
is
that's some of it, for her.
Well,
But
I know she had to step away from the music for a second because she did check herself into rehab
yeah,
uh,
My
for
people just had
alcohol.
her out in
Mhm.
West Virginia. She
You know,
performed.
but before she went into rehab, that's what she was doing. So
yeah.
we haven't heard a lot from her. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that she decided to not just focus on the music because a lot of artists
Well, I
they
know
don't
she had to
they,
step
they
away
don't realize
from the
that
music for a second
You,
you
you,
got a
because she did
time
check herself
frame
into
that you're
rehab
gonna be hot,
from
and
alcohol.
then you gotta
You know,
work towards something else as well, and then try to keep that relevancy. And you can't just it's not a lot of times it's not really all about the music because you got to stay relevant.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
So I commend her for that.
Well, I
Try to
love
do
anybody.
something else too.
I love anybody that knows how to uh, get another separate stream of income.
I mean, look at Rihanna.
You know,
I mean,
Mhm.
he's 1.7 billion right
yeah.
now. That's what she's worth.
I was looking for.
Mm.
I was
You was looking for?
I was looking
That,
for.
Oh,
that is,
ASAP Rocky got that
I
locked
know,
down.
man. I know. Nick.
well, I don't know if anybody.
don't be
I don't
mad,
know if
CP.
He
anybody
I
mad. He
am. I'm
extra
mad.
mad.
I'm mad, dog. I'm mad.
Lady
It's
Antoinette, you got a question for, I guess?
stream of income.
Yeah, tell us about you, your music, your style. Give us kind of
I don't
a
think you were here when we interviewed you.
no, because I need to know this. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there are people that may be tuning in that don't know.
Yeah. Well, I had connected with y'all last time, and I was just releasing. I was about to release one of my singles off of my album, and my style is I can be aggressive. I can be, I can have that kind of um street kind of sound. I can have lyricism with it, or I can slow it down
Mm-hmm.
and do some smooth stuff as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
Okay.
like to
Connected with you all last time, and I was just
I don't want to say
releasing,
it's
or was
not
about to
nothing
release
close
one
to
of my
Drake or
my
nothing like that,
singles
like
off of
his
my
style,
album,
but
and
the way you can
my
switch
style
up
is,
and you can do something serious and you can
I
also do
have,
some mellow
I
stuff
can
as
be
well is
aggressive,
like
I
what
can
I
be,
like to do.
I can have that
And
kind of
so I mix a little bit
street
of
kind of
up
sound. I can
north with a
have
little bit of down south
lyricism with it, or
and
I can slow it
you
down
know,
and do some
beats with
smooth
the
stuff as
lyricism
well.
basically.
So I like to,
Okay. Did I send you guys my questions for him? I don't think I did. Not this time. Was
no.
this when I was driving from Florida?
I don't want to say
I think
everything.
it, I
It's
think so,
nothing
and I was
close to
stressed
Drake or
out.
nothing You like asked for that. someone that's been drinking since
Okay.
2 o'clock
Um,
yesterday.
that you just can't be functioning. 151. That's when I was driving up from Florida. I don't think I think I was too stressed out to send y'all my questions.
Probably,
Like
probably.
his
Okay.
style, but
So
the way
I
you can
do have a
switch up
question
and
that
you
I
can do
didn't get
something
to
serious.
ask last time. You seem to be an
You can
artist
also
with
do
a
some
good
mellow
head
stuff
on your
as well.
shoulders.
Like what I like to do.
So with that said, tell me, um,
So
what type of
I mix a
impact
little bit
do
of
you want
up
to
north
leave on
with a
the
little bit of
culture?
down south,
Not just
and
with music, but just
you know,
impact in general.
Well, the impact for me, I
beats
was
with the
doing
lyricism basically.
some acting things before I was doing music as well, or kind of around the same time. And I've been not we were just talking about
Check your
I heard
YouTube feed,
Young and May
man.
doing some different stuff, and I was just
Check your
doing some
YouTube
different stuff
feed.
as well as far as
Check
just
your YouTube feed.
um, writing and directing music videos, and then so I wanted to get into that and kind of influence that way in, with art as well, and then also I have people behind me that look up to me that they're starting way earlier than I did when I started rapping. And I see that the potential that they have, and so I know the rights and the wrongs of the moves that I made, and so I want to teach them. So when they're going through this process, they don't have to take as long as I did to find the routes and everything. So I just want to help people grow, um, share my knowledge with them as I'm still getting knowledge myself. And then also with this directing music video, I want to leave some kind of, besides my words as well, I'll leave some art behind it, visualization of what the plans and things that I got in my head. I create a lot of things. I don't know if I sent y'all some music videos, but um, it's just I want to make sure that I'm hitting from all angles as well, just not with the music, and leave my imprint in multiple ways.
Okay.
No doubt, no doubt. But I want to give you a slight piece of advice with what you just said about, trying to help others and, get them on. Me and 151 was speaking before the show. I have my own sports podcast and,
Well, the impact for
sport
me,
network that I run. And, I took a couple
I
of
was
folks under my wing and mentored them
some
and,
acting
even put them on with some of the, the contacts that I had, but they didn't show love and respect to the effort that I
before I
put
was
in to
doing
help
music
put
as
them where they
well,
are.
or
And then they
kind of
reach
around
out
the same time.
after the fact, after
And
they haven't,
I've been
shown no love
not
and then trying to,
we were
poach me
talking
for
about
more of my
where
contacts
Young
after they
and May
seen some
doing
of the
some
stuff
different
that
stuff,
I'm
and I
doing.
was
So
just doing
you
some
want to
different stuff
share
as
and help
well as
folks
far as
grow,
just
but don't give too much of yourself because folks
writing and
will use you and
directing
abuse
music
you
videos.
in all type in every
And then
game, not
so I
just
wanted to
sports,
get
not
into
just
that
music,
and
but in
kind of
everything.
influence
Yeah, you would
that
just
way in
have a
art
limit,
as
you
well. And
know.
then also I have
So
people behind me that that look up to
let
me
me piggyback on
that
what
they're
about
starting
that.
way
So
earlier
one
than
of the
I
things
did
is
when I
that you
started
gotta
rapping, and I see
um
that the
when
potential that
you
they
gotta have
have,
the right
and
people
so
in
I know
yourself.
the rights and the wrongs of the
And
moves
then
that
you
I
have to
made,
know who
and
to
so I
help.
want to teach them.
And
So
the
when
real
they're going
talk
through this
is, like I
process,
said, when
they
me and
don't
my
have to take as long
Black
as I did to
GOP,
find the routes and
late
everything.
partner
So
Black GOP
I just want
was
to
doing True Radio,
help people
we
grow,
literally had to do, and
um,
I done said this
share
multiple
my
times,
knowledge with
we
them as
literally
I'm
had to
still
do
getting knowledge myself.
take the
And then
concept
also with
of
this
what we were doing on our
directing.
show, where it was two
Mm-hmm.
guys and the female we put was a singer slash model. He literally did a show and he put two guys and the female was a singer slash model.
Mm-hmm.
And not once did he ever
Mm-hmm.
give us props for um, creating that blueprint for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's just there are people that are energy vampires. They see you doing good, they're gonna try to suck you down.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna like, yo, you doing this, you doing it. So you gotta be
So
selective
Mm-hmm.
on
let me piggyback on
who you choose to help
about that.
and what direction you're going, because there's some people they only want to be there for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like any relationship, it's a reason or a season.
The real talk
You
is,
know, and
like I said, for me and
some
my
people when they season over, they want to stick around because
late partner last year,
they want to try to
we
make the same moves
we
as you do.
literally had to do, and I done
They
said this
ride the
multiple times.
coattails
We
and try
literally
to
had to
copy and mimic, and then won't even
take the
acknowledge that
concept of what we were doing
you're
for
the one that put
ourselves
the idea
and
out
put it
there.
on the
And
table.
then the smart thing to
And
do would be to
we came up
collaborate and try to branch
single
off of what you started, but then they try to steal your idea and not even man enough or woman enough to look you in the eye when they do it. So,
and the female
that's
was
some of my personal
single
stuff that's just, giving you a
/
little info. I've been in the,
Right.
I've been in the
Now,
sports
I
journalism
feel
game
like
for a
we
while.
could pull up, you know what I mean? But y'all
No,
don't want to do that.
no, we don't need to pull up because, like I said, I used to pull up, but now I decided now I just pull out. But you know what I'm saying?
What you do?
I always, well, most
Quick
of the
shout out.
time.
Let me get a quick shout out to Alexis who just tuned in.
they're gonna try to suck you dry.
Congratulations
They're
on
like,
your move to Atlanta,
you doing
Alexis.
this, you doing. So
We
you
so
gotta be
proud.
selective on
Mhm.
who
Indeed.
you choose to help and what direction you're going.
But
There's
They,
some people
I
they only
definitely
want to be there for
understand
the
where y'all
ride.
coming from with everything, because over
Like
the
any
years,
relationship, it's a reason or
definitely
a
run into
season.
those issues and stuff like that. So
Because
I definitely
some people when they
uh,
season over, they
brush
want to stick
shoulders
around
with
because
people that weren't
they want to
that were
try to make the
on
same
some
moves
negative
that you
type
do.
vibes and just were there for gain their own gain and dip off and stuff. So I definitely been through exactly what y'all said. So I definitely know to keep my stuff selective.
And
Hmm.
Bill,
Definitely got to be selective who you keep in your circle, who you give your energy to, and who you talk to. I've learned that, excuse me, throughout the years because I got folks mimicking my show, mimicking the apparel line and everything. And a quick segue into the apparel line. You see, we got the
shout out.
fresh new Sports on the Hill podcast hats in the fitted. I'm getting the snapbacks done in a little while. Gotta, find me a wholesaler because these prices is ridiculous in this market right now. But
Quick
hit
shout
me
out.
up for
Again,
the
a quick
new
shout out to
Sports
Alexis who just
OTHP
tuned
apparel.
in.
You can hit the website,
Congratulations on your move to
sportsothp.com.
Atlanta, Alexis.
Hoodies, sweatshirts,
We're
cell
so
phone covers, tote bags, umbrellas. We got everything.
We
Support the
got
movement.
everything.
Yeah, support the movement, baby. DC Sports Other Politics. All right, that's my shameless plug. I'm sorry.
I
Had to
definitely
get it out.
understand where y'all coming from with everything, because
We
over the
heard it.
years,
Hey, man. It was a good
definitely run
segue.
into
It was a good segue.
those issues and
yes,
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I
Mhm.
definitely
so you have a new
brush
project that
shoulders
you're
with
working on now, sir?
people that weren't
Yeah,
that were on some negative
I'm
type
actually
vibes
coming
and
out
just
with
were
an
there
LP
for gain their own
with
gain and
somebody
dip off and
January
stuff.
1st.
So I
Artist
definitely
named
been
T-Bell. We're
through
coming out
exactly
with
what y'all
a
said. So I definitely
LP
know to keep my
called
stuff
Emerald City.
selective.
Like I said, January 1st on all streaming platforms. I already have a video to this that's been out for a little while now. Um, it's doing well, and I feel like this album is definitely gonna be a nice introduction to the new year. Then from then on, I got a couple of things. I've been working on the low, and then just making some business moves while I've been working. So, because I just came out with my last album in about March, April. So, I've been pushing that and just making moves on the road, building up. So we're gonna drop this LP first, and then I'll let that do its thing, and then I got plenty more projects in the process. So I want to make sure my business is on point before I make some moves.
That's what's up.
Yeah, question, Lady
I see,
Antoinette.
I see. Um,
Um,
so
yeah,
you
I
have a
do
new
have a
project
question.
that you're working on now, sir?
Other than that, I'm good with that.
No,
Nah.
I
Yeah, I
do have a
actually do.
question.
I'm actually coming
What would
out
you
with an
say if you
LP
were
with
at some
somebody
type of
January 1st.
interview,
The artist named T Bell.
performance, or
We're coming
something
out
like
with a
that, and
LP
you got somebody
called
on your
Emerald City.
team
Um, like I said, January 1st on
that
all streaming platforms.
not quite
I already
right,
have a video to this that's been out for a
and
little while
let's
now.
say you look down at your
It's doing
phone
well,
that
and
they
I feel
looking
like
at, and you
this
see
album is
like
definitely
some
gonna
blonde
be a
hair,
nice
blue eyed chick, or
introduction to
some
the new year,
porn or
and
something like
I know,
that.
ho. I know you ain't talking about some of the stuff
So
you just sent me.
what would
and then just making some business
what would you
moves,
See,
do? Like
black
if
people,
while I'm
man.
they
working. So,
just something
because I
ain't
just
right
came
with
out with my
them,
last
Red
what would
album
people
you do
mask,
on your
man.
team?
about
See what I
March,
mean,
I
April.
man?
need
So,
that advice.
You know.
I've been pushing that and just making moves on the
um,
road, building up.
I
So I'm gonna drop
really
this
like to be
LP first,
straightforward with things. So
and then I'll let
if
that do
if
its
I
thing,
see
and then I
something a
got
little
plenty more
off,
projects in the
Mm.
I
process.
need
But I want to make
and
sure
people want to know how
my
serious.
business is
How
on
serious
point
I am
before
about
I
what I
make
do
a
and
move.
also they know that I'm gonna come to them straightforward. So
Mm-hmm.
If I see some funny stuff, then I'm gonna address the funny stuff. And then if they feel a certain type of way, if you feel some type of way, and we talking, and
Mhm.
I'm being, I'm being just honest with you about my opinion on what I'm talking about. If you don't like that, then I guess you gotta be somewhere else because it's all about being straightforward with one another.
Exactly.
And and if we can't be straightforward with one another, how we gonna do business and all of that other
Yeah,
stuff? And so
Exactly.
yeah,
I need to talk you out on some stuff if I need to call you out on some stuff.
See,
exactly.
And if I'm
exactly.
they need to do the
Yeah.
same.
So what's funny to you might not be funny to the next person. Exactly. I
So,
feel you on
so
that
what
though.
you saying is I should go ahead and chat CP3 about this blonde hair blue eye that got his eye right now
What's
that
wrong?
he
Hey,
keeps
look,
staring at
I'm
today.
trying to find me some companionship. If it
So
happens to
that's
be
what
a
he's
blonde haired,
saying.
blue eyed
But
woman,
that's true
so
though.
be it.
You gotta be
Yeah.
honest and open with your team.
If,
That's
if,
good. See,
if I'm looking for a sponsor, shit.
you know what? See, that's
It's hard
that's
out here
why I
for a
always
pimp.
want to pop him. Like I
Look,
need one of those school teacher rulers,
look.
the wooden
Actually,
one
I got the paddle with the ball on it with the tape.
with the ball. Wait, he probably
See that?
like
You
that.
know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
know about
See
that.
what kind of
Uh-uh.
freaky shit be going on in here, man? Paddles and balls and shit. Nah, dog, those two words don't go together in the
He
same
gonna have
sentence.
the ball in his, the
Paddles
red
and
ball in
balls.
his mouth.
Nah, nah, ain't nobody paddling no balls around here. I don't know what kind of
He
party
gonna
y'all
have
You
that
have
having.
a
red ball in
CP3.
your
You have a
mouth.
Nah, I
question.
don't do that shit.
You have a question for, I guess.
Um, what's any latest projects you got going on in the videos?
You already said that.
Man, my bad. I'm in this bottom.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Man, I done
Can't
got
get it
thrown.
Okay.
together.
Yeah, yeah.
He
You want,
can't.
you want, me, you want me to come
Come
back
back
around?
around the round robin.
All
Yeah, come
right.
back around. I
So
get
what's
you.
the difference between this LP and the last project that you put out?
Mm-hmm.
Different with this LP and the last project. I think the last project it was more digging into a little bit of both sounds that I was talking about before. I put a little bit of harmonizing, a little bit of singing to it, and then I also had some harder bars as well. I kind of mixed everything up and gave basically a little bit of each style. It's called A.N.T. I'm A.N.T. And so I just wanted to make sure that because even though I hear a bunch of different flows and stuff around now, I've been playing with flows for a minute, and so I felt that I wanted to just give that kind of vibe, like it's in everything kind of cohesively fit together, and I'm just making sure I gave everybody a different sound so I can connect with a little bit of everybody. Versus on this one, um, I kind of went on the style of more, I guess, a down type of feel. The beats are harder and stuff like that. A lot of them are, um, stuff you could play in the club. It's a nice vibe of just, being out, like it's in party vibes and free flowing with that. So it's not more of diving into things. We just focusing mostly on just club bangers on this one. And
Okay.
so we're gonna keep it fun. We have bars in there as well, but definitely something to turn the club up with.
Okay, that's fine. CP3, you got anything? Or should I go to Lady Ant next?
Uh, you say, you want to try to help influence the game and get the game in a better direction, which I definitely applaud. And if I recall, when you were on the show, you did have a nice variety of music that you do. Since the last time we spoke, I know, like you said, trying to grind and find your way. What's some of the trials and tribulations that say you've gone through? Like you say, going from the album you dropped before and the album you about to drop now. What are some of the things that you might have learned or picked up in the travels just from the last time you were on this show?
Um, well, dropping this last one, I dropped this one, but then also working with a bunch of other people. We were talking about helping other people and everything like that. I did realize that it's time after this LP, it's time for me to go back to myself and go with because, working with other people, building people features here and there. You get away from your stuff, your sound as well. So I definitely wanted to reel back in and focus on different things. I wanted to focus on business aspects Like as far as I said, writing and directing music videos, I wanted to create it for that. And then some other things as well. So it's just about really making moves, thinking about my music content and what direction I want to go with next. Doing things with other people make me realize what I want to do and what I want to do. And besides that, I just been working on myself and grinding. I bought a house this year.
Whoa,
Um,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
been,
whoa, whoa! You can't just skip over that
All right.
like that's just some easy jazz. Yeah, I bought a house this year.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I bought a house this
Well,
year,
dropping this last one.
and because
I
I
dropped
wanted to
this
own
one,
my
and then
own, so
Right.
uh, I bought that, and then I wanted to
working with
transition
a bunch
that
of other
into.
people.
I have a
We
basement.
were
I'm going to
talking about
transition
helping
that
other
into a
people
studio and
and
everything,
everything,
and
and
I'm going
then
to make
I
sure
didn't
that
realize
covered by the business as well. Everything I put into that will be covered by my
that
business to
it's
recover
not
on my
happening
taxes
else
as well.
each
I'm
time
trying
to
to
go
make
back
sure
to
that I'm
myself
good with my
and go
business side,
because
so I can
when
already have that covered when I'm doing this studio stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
any
other
black
people
man that's
features
doing
here and
ownership,
there.
we're gonna
You get
celebrate
away from your
because
stuff, your sound as
I think
well.
that's something that we as people we don't
So I definitely wanted to
we don't
reel
get
it
enough
back
credit
in
for it. We don't take it as
and
seriously as
focus
we
on
need to.
different things. I wanted to
So
focus
definitely, like we're not gonna just shoot over that. I bought a
on
house this
Well,
year.
business
Like
aspect.
you just got a pair of Jordans. No, that's a big
Like I said,
accomplishment.
as
We
far as I've
definitely
been
want to salute
writing
you
and
and give you
directing
flowers.
music videos,
Give you
I
flowers while you're
uh,
here, like on some real stuff.
wanted to create a
I
Definitely,
business for
appreciate
definitely,
that,
it.
and then some other things
definitely.
as
You got
well.
anything, Lady Internet?
So it's
I was
just about
actually going to ask
really
him what changes in his life.
making moves,
That's
thinking
literally
about
what I was
my
going
music
to
content
ask.
and what direction I want to
That's
go
a
Um,
with
big change
next.
right
right. So he
Doing
kind of
things with
answered
You
other
that
gotta
people.
answer that
question.
real quick.
Well, on the social aspect, these changes that you've made
People
in
makes me
your
realize what I want to do
life,
and what I don't want to do.
how has your moves as an artist, how has that changed your social life?
And besides that,
Um,
I've
well,
just been working on myself.
I'm up somewhere where I don't I'm not from here. I live in Roanoke, and I'm not from here originally, so uh, all my contacts basically are through music versus like my other job that I do as well. So my social life consists mostly with music, and so I created a relationship
And
with
right,
that,
and I
and I've
bought a
been
house
doing
this
few
year.
festivals this
Um,
year. Trying to build back up from lockdown of last year a little bit. But I've recently gotten to
I'm building.
people that are
You
more
just skip
serious
over
with their
that.
stuff. Like I said, I've
That's
always
just
told
some easy.
myself to, I don't want to
Out
be
this
doing
year.
shows with people that are on my level. I want to make sure I'm always reaching for higher, people that
Mm-hmm.
are a little bit above and
But
be in
yeah,
that circle and then go
I
and
bought
jump
a
into,
house this year.
elevate each time. And so I'm finding myself in um, better
Because
markets
I
and
wanted to own my own
situations
studio,
where
so
I'm getting taken
uh,
seriously now.
I
So
bought that, and then I wanted to
I'm getting away
transition
from
that.
a certain kind of show, and now I'm just trying to build off of that, build the connections with different people, and it feels good because
I have a
I
basement. I
already
want to
knew the
transition that
crowd that I
to.
was in, and doing things, just being consistent with things like we were talking about before, with consistency. Consistency is key, and I'm just
Studio and
trying to stay
everything,
in
and I'm
that,
gonna make
that
sure that
circle right there.
covered by the business as
You only
well.
go as far as you only go as far as the people you keep around you.
So let's talk about what you were just saying because like um you the fact that you know what I'm growing, and as you're growing you're elevating and you're like, well, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do this particular show anymore. I want to do this one on a bigger venue, and that's part of your growth. And the fact that you recognize that is amazing. So this is where a lot of uh, indie artists fail. They get comfortable.
Anything I put
A lot
into
of people
that
get
will be
comfortable
covered
being
by
the
my
man on their
business.
block or being the person in their city, uh, and so they fail at that.
Yeah.
So, and what happens is it starts to fail,
Recover on my
and
taxes as well. I'm trying to make sure
you're
that
not
I'm good
able
with
to
my
grow.
business side, so
Mm-hmm.
I can
So,
already have that covered when I'm
It
doing different
allows
things.
you to grow.
But any black man
And
that
as long as you're growing,
that's
like
doing
I
own
think
shit,
that's
we
one of the
want to
most
applaud and
best things
celebrate
and good things that you
because
can do.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's something.
Wow.
That we
You,
as
And
people, we
I
you
think
know
that just the fact that I don't know too many people here as well. And then it just
we don't get
I
enough
take the
credit. We don't
relationships
take it
and the
seriously
networking
as we need
seriously
to.
with people, and I I'm all over the place when I perform. I'm different places and stuff, but I'm quiet and stuff where I keep the energy of people to see if it's with my energy.
Yeah.
And so, because as we get older, we don't need to waste the time on
So
things that ain't going
definitely,
to
like
work out.
we're
So I
not
make
gonna lose
sure
sight
that
of that.
you know um, it's all cool to have fun and everything, but we're not helping each other grow than what we do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Real shit.
It's always a good thing.
you said what now?
So that's some real shit.
With a house
Yeah.
full of
If you're not growing, you're just
we
stagnating.
definitely
Gotta
need flowers.
I
gotta
mean,
adapt and you gotta
Flowers.
move.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like I said, the fact that he recognizes that, like, you know what, I've done this format
Appreciate it.
for a bit. I need to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, Lady
Speaks
Antoinette.
volume because this whole thing is like you're growing your brand.
Yeah.
So as you're growing your brand, you gotta go out to your comfort zone. So if you cool with performing in front of 5 people
Took a change
and
right there.
you're not ready to grow, then you're gonna have to,
Gotta
in
handle
order for
that
you to
real quick.
elevate, you gotta learn to perform in front of. You did 5 this time, so next year you should do 20. So the year after that you should do 40. Then you should be able to be, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Growth is about being uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and challenging yourself and doing something different and 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 showing why you're this. You
Um,
know,
well,
that's the one thing
I'm up
about growth
I'm up
that
somewhere where I don't
you
I'm not
gotta
from
do it,
here. I live in
and I
Rome,
applaud him for
Italy.
him knowing that.
Yeah. He's forcing himself to grow.
Yeah,
He's pushing himself to
because the
grow.
easiest thing to stay in that comfort
I'm
zone.
not from here
Shit.
originally,
Man.
so uh, all my content
You
Mm-hmm.
comfortable?
basically
Hell,
comes
why
from
get up?
music
Yep.
versus like
Why get
um,
up?
It's
Why get up?
comfy here. Let me just stay right
my other job that I do as well. So my
So
social life consists mostly with music. Is so I
I got some
create the
good news and I
relationships
got
with
some
that,
bad
and I've
here.
been
Oh
doing
Lord.
Gotta
a few
restart
festivals
feed.
this year.
Well, no, we're still
Trying to
going.
take them back up after the lockdown of last
We're live
year.
on everything except for Facebook right
But
now.
I've
Facebook
recently
hasn't shut
gotten
us down.
to people that are more serious with this stuff. Like, I've always told
But we're still
myself
live
to,
on YouTube. We're
I
still
don't want to
live
be
on
doing
Twitter.
shows with people
We're
that
still
are
live on
on my
Twitch. We're gonna
level. I
continue
want
with
to
the
make
interview
sure
and
I'm
still have a
always
good
reaching
time.
for
Alright,
higher.
cool,
People
cool.
that are
I just checked
a
all the
little bit
other ones
above
are up.
and
It's
be
just
in that
Facebook
circle,
decided,
and
and every
for
now
me
and
to
then
jump
Facebook
into,
does that. I'm
elevate
not gonna
each
say
time.
anything
So I
bad
was
because
finding
they'll probably
myself
shut
in
me down
different
next week too.
um,
Well, it ain't like you want
festivals
it
and
right now.
markets
You're
and
not on the
Yeah, that's
platform
why.
right
Yeah, I
now.
can't say.
Hey,
I'm
I'm
just
still
being
I'm
real.
still up. So I ain't had no
getting away
beef
from
lately. I don't want to keep it
Okay.
that way. Even though they
and
still
now
suppressing my
I'm
views,
just
they
trying to
ain't put me
Right,
in
reconnect
jail.
and
So
make connections with
You said they
different
ain't put you
people.
in jail.
yeah,
put you in jail.
I've been out of
Well,
jail, so I'm gonna
because
just leave it
I've
alone.
seen
So,
I already
but
knew
you
the
know,
crowd that I was in,
you
and
did
doing
send me
things,
some
just
music,
being
so let me go
consistent
ahead
with
and play
things
some of
like
this
we were
good old
talking about
music that you
before.
sent.
Mm-hmm.
With consistency,
Um,
consistency is key, and
so
I'm just trying to stay
the
in
songs you
that
sent,
circle right there.
what's
You
gonna
only
be the
go as
main
far as
difference between
you only go
from
as
your
far as the
last time?
people you keep around you.
So let's talk about what
The
you
one that
just
I
said
played last
because
time was, I believe, and I know I
like
sent Love Now, which is
you
is
the fact
has
that
a UK drill almost like beat
you know
to
what,
it, and
I'm growing, and as
I'm
you're
not sure
growing,
if
you're
I sent
elevating, and you're like,
something
oh,
else,
I
but
don't
I
want to do
know
this
those
particular show
vibes. I have a
anymore.
song
I
on
want to do this one a
that I
little
sent
different,
y'all, I believe, and it
and
might be
that's
called
because you're
Silence, that is
growing.
on that
The fact that
type
you
of
recognize
vibe as
that
well.
is
I
amazing.
think I sent a song
So
maybe
this is
called
what a lot
On
of
Go, which has
indie
some
artists
smooth
fail.
type of vibes.
They get comfortable.
And then For Real is from my
A lot of people get
LP,
comfortable
and
being the
that shit,
man on their block or being
I
the
guess some
originator
club type of vibe. So
or
I
being
sent
the
something that
person
has a little UK drill, little
in
club,
sync.
type vibe, and then something that has some
And
smooth
so
type of
they
stuff. So it's
fail.
a little variety
Now,
there.
Okay, okay.
so
So
what happens is it starts
let's
to
see.
Then
fail
also,
and
Go ahead. What you about to say?
you're not able to grow.
No, I said, I believe I sent some videos just so whatever y'all wanted to check out, make sure that y'all had,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
from
I think I got the video from the background already. Uh,
As long as you're
I'll
growing,
just gotta,
right?
you gotta give me a second. I'll load up
Best thing,
the other
the
one
things that you can do.
uh before we end the show. But I think we're gonna go with T
mhm.
Bell featuring
And
Ant
I think
A.N.T.
yeah, that's the
it's
new
just the
it's
fact
the one
that
that's gonna be off the
I
LP
don't know
called
too many
Emerald City.
people
Oh,
here
well,
as
then
well.
good choice.
And then it just
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
my
take
great act.
Oh, this
the
is nice.
relationships and the networking
I'm the
seriously as
greatest.
well. And
All right, we're gonna about to play
I
this. I'm about to play some of your joints
I'm
real
all over
quick.
the place.
All
I'm
right.
performing. I'm different places
All
and stuff, but I'm quiet and stuff where I pick the energy up people to see if it's with my energy. And so, because as we get older, we don't need to waste the time on things that ain't going to work out. So I make sure that you know um, it's all cool to have fun and everything, but if we're not helping each other grow, what we doing? You know what I mean?
It's the art show I got on my Santa Claus or something.
I'm on my game for real. This is any name, feeling like I ain't for real. Shit is shame, that's your bitch name for real. That's not your name for real. Yeah, being along as I'm winning. Every day got my family that trench, get sit on my ass, yo, that's not how I'm living. Thinking I'm money, get for my you ain't for real. This is any name, feeling like I ain't for real. Shit is shame, that's your bitch name for real. That's not your name for real. Yeah, being along as I'm winning. Every day got my family that trench, get sit on my ass, yo, that's not how I'm living. Thinking I'm money, get for my you. And my nature turning cold in the diamonds, turning scenes in the sirens. Only bitches get the happen, only real niggas quiet and making waves like sliding. Trail blazing,
It's
blood
not for
blazing,
you to
no
grow,
debating, no
then
time.
you're gonna
The
have to.
game
In
on
order
the
for you to
line,
elevate, you
killing
gotta learn to
saying
become
your
a
bitch
beginner.
for
You
nothing.
have
You
to
must work the
sometimes. So
fall
next
back.
year you should keep
Team on my
pushing.
back, can never look
Mm.
back.
And after that,
All
you
the
should
niggas
feel
bitches
forced
crack slow.
to be able to be. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You
on
gotta
my game
make
for
yourself
real. Came from
uncomfortable.
the bottom, see niggas change for real. But
You know,
some more me.
growth is about being uncomfortable.
Now get big like Uncle
Now you're
Phil. Neck
comfortable.
on froze, man, I can't chill. Niggas be capping and acting,
Then
man. Fuck it, I might make a scene for real. My
showing
family at the trenches
why
doubted me, but they gon' come to their senses. For all of these inches, now they trying to
about
make
growth is
fences.
that
But I'm all about it. I'm on my
you
screen for
gotta
real.
do it.
Just like
If
any
it's not
name,
for
feeling
you,
like I ain't
don't
for
do
real.
it.
Shit a shame, that's your bitch name for real. That's not your name for real.
Because even if everything that comes
Yeah,
your way,
long as I'm winning. Every day got my family that trench, get sit on my ass, yo, that's not how I'm
comfortable.
living.
Why get
Thinking I'm gonna
comfortable?
get for my name for real.
Why
Just
get
thinking
comfortable?
me, feeling like I ain't for real. Shit a shame, that's your bitch name for real. That's not your name for real.
So
Yeah, long as I'm winning. Every day got my family that trench, get sit on my ass, yo, that's not how I'm living. Thinking I'm gonna get for I'm just
we
fucking
got
with
one
my
more.
feelings.
We're
They
going
calling me,
uh
considered I'm winning to go to
live ones or
cities.
everything
See the
separate.
minute we
Right?
talk
That's
about
basically
money,
what
I get it, I get it. Versace, the Louis on me, this shit fit. I feel like a change for so many titties.
we'll
Y'all
go
wanna
live on
play.
YouTube. We're gonna
How
put
is
it
it?
in Twitter and stuff.
Shit, what you
We'll go live
mean?
on
People be
YouTube. You gotta
playing,
get in
risking
there.
it up for the coin. That's where the rest shit is the drain. I get up on stage in the tank, I'm
Another
doing my
one
thing.
is
Feeling like
Facebook
ready,
and
I'm
stuff.
better
And
my
every now and
tank.
then
Back on
Facebook
my
does
bullshit,
that.
it's what you
I'm
think.
not gonna
I
say
do it,
his
I just
app,
stay
but
in your lane. When we drop bodies, I put that on game. I'm on my game for real. Just like
it's a
any name,
yeah,
feeling
that's right.
like
Yeah,
for
I
real.
get it.
Shit, that shit, that's your bitch name for real. Not your name for real. Kitty, me and long as I'm winning. Every day got my family that trench, get sit on my ass, yo, that's not how I'm living. Thinking I'm gonna get for my
There you go.
name
You
for
got
real.
it.
Just like any name, feeling like I ain't for real.
So
Shit,
For
that
me.
what
that's
no
your bitch name for real.
Like I
Not
bought
your
this one.
name for
okay,
real.
send it
I
to me
didn't
so
feel like I
you
bought
can
this
go
one.
ahead.
Me and long as I'm winning. Every day got my family
Oh,
that trench, get sit on
there
my
goes
ass,
the
yo, that's not how
president.
I'm living. Thinking I'm gonna get for you and
The song you sent,
It's like
what's
my
the
own.
main
It
difference
is.
between
I like
from
that.
your last two?
I like that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I like
the
the
one
beat.
that I
The beat
played
is a little
last
bit
time
different.
was, I believe,
You
and
got
I
them
know I said Never
violins,
Back
man.
Down, which is
What you say?
is has a UK drill
Was
almost
it the
type
one you
beat
talking
to
about
it,
for real?
and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if I sent
I like that beat. It
something
was
else,
a
but
little
I know
different. A little
those
different.
vibes. I have a song on that
I
French,
love
I
violins
believe,
like
and it might be
CP3.
Yeah,
called
the
Diamond,
violins,
and it's
man. You
on
know, you got
that
violins. You
little
already got me hooked.
vibe as
That's why I
well.
love violins. I put them in my
I
beats
think I
also.
sent a song maybe called On
We're gonna
Go,
play this other
which
one,
has a
Silence
smooth
now.
type of vibe.
CP3 over here sipping to your
And then
music,
for
getting
real,
Yeah,
it's
so
from
out.
my
Man,
the LP,
his eyes
and
is low like
that's
shit right now.
I guess some club type of vibe. So I
that
picked
drink was a
something that
banger,
has a
man. It
little
had me
UK
pouring some more
drill, little
tequila, man. I
club
put a little bit more in my cup than
type
I
of
supposed
vibe,
to.
and then something that
Oh shit.
has a
I
smooth
might
type.
gotta start
So
turning,
it's a
flipping
little
tables over or
variety.
something.
You know what?
Okay,
He going. He
Yes,
going.
I was going to
so
What
play
you got
that
to
other
say?
song. The other
Let's see.
Okay,
And
the
then
silence brings in, is
Go
gonna
ahead.
bring
What you
some
about
more
to say?
energy, and then I just saw the other thing I
I
said
said, and
too.
I believe
That
in making
Beyonce knows
videos
is
just
more
so
of a
whatever y'all
singing
want
type
to
of
check
vibe, so
out,
it'll
I
be a
can,
switch up from what y'all
have,
hear too.
Cool,
Well,
cool.
we got
Yeah,
the
I
video
need to
for the
calm down a little
background
bit. Cool,
already.
cool.
Yeah, cause he about to go
I'll
spend
discuss that in a
$40 by
second.
when
I'll
he leave
load
the
up
show tonight.
That's after
the
he get up off the floor.
40. Don't make me reach in my bag.
but
Oh no.
I went
next
to
we're
the
gonna
bank
go
the
with
other day.
You want to spend 60?
80.
T
I
Bells
got a
featuring
hundred ones in
A&T.
my bag, dog.
A&T.
yeah, that's
Ah,
the
shit.
What?
that's the
Never
new
mind.
I got a hundred
Not
one. I
mad
got a
about
hundred
that.
ones in my bag, dog. Merry
We
Christmas.
already know what you about to do.
I ain't decide yet. Depending on what time the show in.
Alright, let me play this next thing.
Right,
Alright,
please.
we're gonna about to play this. They about to play some of your joints
Yeah.
real quick.
Cut his mic.
Saying, I'm just telling you, don't play no club bank. Make it rain. Okay.
You better call me your highness. Diamonds, can't know me, that's blindness. Don't show no kindness. Silence, you better call me your highness. Yeah, put a nigga on silence. And then I let I know if I'm fast, no grace. I'm in a race now. If the niggas ain't easy, give them things y'all ain't breathing. You better call me your highness. Diamond, can't be me, that's blindness. No kindness. You better call me your highness. Nobody paying the word. He's the fool your parents. Give them the word. Favor your parents, you don't senses the nigga out there getting each other the word. I wouldn't even million, I better devour they walk around with we bringing that shit. Only nigga ain't speaking now. They think my name, but don't know when you really got what they gave you. Crap out the way. A.N.T. like Biggie and Tupac. They take you down. One face, I'm a nigga. When I speak, all my niggas scream. Silent, you better call me your highness. Take me, that's blindness. Show no kindness. Silent, you better call me your highness.
I ain't gonna lie,
I
dog.
like it.
That track, man, you want to start spitting in that motherfucker, dog. Bruh, I was like, that joint has some instrumental. I was about to say, man, keep that beat right. I'm about to have to do some freestyle on there, dog. Shit. Yeah, that joint was that's definitely a banger. You need to definitely drop that as soon as possible. I think that joint is definitely a banger. Definitely a club banger. Maybe even a strip club
So
banger.
that's always gonna be on that Emerald City LP. We have a couple singles. We have if they songs on it, we have a couple of singles on there that our own put on it as well. And so I'm gonna put that one on there. He got something as well. And I have our group stage as well. So
Okay.
that's the January 1st. I'll be out and then I'll be
I like the beat.
writing and stuff for this video and put that together as well.
Okay.
Nah, let me play this Beyonce no.
Was it the one you
So
talking
there's a
about?
whole
Bridge?
shit.
Yeah, yeah. I like that beat. It was a little different.
CP3 is all smooth.
I love
You
that.
might be able to make a baby off this CP3.
He already done did
Gotta
that.
make me text my stripper.
Tell me all your secrets, I've been dying to
This
know.
other one's silent now.
When I hit it, I might lose control. Looking like a stripper when he
Oh,
on
there you
that
go.
pole. Make her see Z's like Beyonce knows. Before a nigga like it, I might lose control. Me wonder, wonder.
Make it see like Beyonce.
Okay, silence brings in gonna bring
Before a
in more
nigga
energy, and
like
then I just saw the other thing I said too. That
like
Beyonce is
lose
almost
control.
of a singing type of vibe, so it'll be a
Me
switch up
one
from the
no
jump.
one no.
They got nothing wrong
Like
going.
Beyonce, I know. Been searching for a girl like you. Always on time, put it on me. I'm Ja Rule. Only for the rule, shit. I might be a damn fool. Been in the pool, doing laps like a
I
tongue.
think I know where I'm going after the show.
Secrets, been in your biggie secrets, surfing on this wave, shit. I'm sleeping.
I wouldn't lie.
Jackson, I just bleed. Rain shining, I'm slaying dragons for your secret. Destiny, you and me make the perfect recipe. Until it's R.I.P. Yeah. You know what it is, and I put that on A.N.T. And I feel like I'm Jay-Z. Secrets I've been dying to know. And I hit it, I might lose control. Silence, feel like a stripper when she on that pole. Makes the CCs like Beyonce knows. Will show no kindness. My nigga like silence. You better call me your highness. Hit it, I lose control. Put a nigga on silent. They one no one no. Man, I'm higher than a pilot. CCs like Beyonce knows. Bust down, no greyhound. My nigga like hate now. Don't matter, get cake now. My lose control. Give him CPR, they ain't breathing. They one no one no. Say you on my level, you ain't a bunch of racks, that's a field of deal. Got niggas make it disappear. A.N.T, we gon' get this clear. No breaks, no days off. Do the running man. Put the money, get your nigga poppin', rub it clean. Like the Jeffersons, you know the plan. Working for my niggas, stuntin' like I'm Jackie Chan. Silence, you better call me your highness.
The first time you saw there, you ain't seen no shit like this. You gonna be that hard. Like, let me tell you something. The other two joints are bangers. This is a hit. It's a big difference. Like,
CP3 pulled out his money.
I didn't know where I was going tonight. Like I told him I had 100 ones in my bag. I know where I'm going after I leave the show
First of all,
tonight.
anyone who carries 100 ones in their bag, they know what they're going.
You never know.
No.
You never know what you might,
There's
you
only
know.
one place I can think of anyone.
I might go to the laundromat. I might need to go to the laundromat. I need
The
change.
laundry, okay, change
Yeah, you put the
versus
dollars in.
$1 bills. That's two
I'm just
different
saying, I might need change.
You didn't get quarters.
Because, you know, quarters would be too heavy. 100 ones is a lot lighter, man. I might need to go to the laundromat.
that Beyonce knows joint, like I said, the other two, bangers, fire. But that joint, that would be it. You thought it again today?
Yeah, I like it. Honestly, I feel like I'm a fan of all the stuff that you sent, so there's that. But yeah, that last one, you definitely switched it up, which is appreciated. It shows that you're versatile, so that's definitely appreciated.
All right, and I'm gonna just say, if you want to shoot a video, I got a club that, you know, I have some connects at a strip club with the stripper on the pole line you got in the hook. So, you know, let me know if you want to make something happen like that. You know, I wouldn't mind being in a video. You know, I made my debut in Renegades Money Convo. You know,
On that Emerald City
Hey, I can plan something. I can have
we have
videographer come up there too.
it's
That's cool with me.
hey man, we definitely can talk about it off air because I got some, you know, some new talent up there I've been, you know, communicating with, and we can make.
Some new talent that you begin. First of all, you sound like a whole pimp.
I'm just
You
saying,
do.
you know, you gotta.
This
I'm
sounds
just saying,
really
you know,
edgy right now.
I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta be. I'm just saying, you gotta
got
be
some new talent.
I mean, it's some new talent that I've been cultivating at the club.
Cultivate. See, this
You
is
know,
what I'm talking.
I'm
You need to
just-
stop right there.
I'm just saying, you know,
Because, like I said, you sound like a whole entire pimp right now, and this is really edgy.
young ladies want to be in the business. I'm trying to introduce them
Young
to the
ladies
business.
want to be in the business. I thought you said they already work there. That's the
Yeah,
business.
that's what I'm saying. I'm expanding the business, their business
Expanding
line.
their
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
You're a pimp. Are you a
No,
pimp?
I'm just saying.
Where did you get this money from?
Is Wayne Brady going to have a
What
smack?
you about to say, A.N.T?
I said, oh shit, they about to shut y'all down.
Wait,
This is
they already shut us down.
this is
I'm gonna be
real
So
able
stop
life,
beefing.
man.
We're not on Facebook right
This is
now.
real life, man. You know, you have situations where you have some young ladies
we
that
use words.
Situations. Anytime you use something like that, I don't trust
If
you.
you use the word like cultivate and cut your pinky out, you gonna
I'm
see.
just saying the pinky ain't
And
come out, man.
expounding.
You
He's
know.
talking about strippers expounding the business.
Yeah,
What?
because you know you gotta look toward the future. You know,
Whoa.
things are important. You can't just live
Wow.
for today.
How many of these do you have in your
Man,
bag?
Ain't no worry about that.
it's crazy though because
Sophisticated.
like when I played the never back down video, uh, you showed so many different styles tonight. Like
Yeah.
a lot of that.
You know that never back down because I was talking to y'all beforehand with that, and I used the body bag for that video, and there's a DJ that I worked with for a long time, and he actually got um, an artist signed him to start doing tours and everything, so we started doing that, and he did a last show around here, and so I made sure that I brought that body bag out. I had somebody carry me actually in the venue because I was the main event. Somebody carried me in the venue in the body bag. Unzip that joint. And that's how I started my set.
Now you need to put that video out like that. That stayed before me. So we gonna play. We gonna about to play this never back down.
Yeah. And then I have some.
Yo, the versatility is crazy. Real yeah, again, back to this interview.
Mm.
So, the first time you called in, you ain't sent me no shit like this. You know, like, let me tell you something. The other two joints are bangers. This is a hit. This would be different. Like, like,
I didn't know where I was going tonight.
he know where you going. He know where you going. You ain't going nowhere. Man, I would tell you though that Beyonce note, like I said, the other two, like fire. But that joint, that would be a hit. Yeah.
Hey, I could plan something. I could have a videographer come up there too. That's cool with
Man,
me.
we've definitely played that. We definitely played that a few times.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Song.
But here's the thing though, when you listen to songs, you can hear the growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like from that project to this project, you can really hear the growth.
Well, that's his point.
And I mean, there's very few people that can give you joints and they be like, oh, all them joints shut up.
And then, but one thing I've noticed, tell us about these beats and what you look for in the songs because every single song that you've given to us, the beat was just on point.
Yeah.
So tell us about that process. Like, what are you doing as
What you
far
about to
as
say, A.N.T.?
your selection for your
Say,
songs?
oh shit, they about to shut y'all down on Facebook talking about that.
I was just talking
They
to
already shut us
somebody
down.
because
Sound like the other
I'm real picky with beats.
yeah.
And I'll go through a lot of beats where
You know when you
I'll
use
sit
words,
on I have some stuff that's done already, and so I try
when
to
you use
stay
a
ahead
word
of
like
myself so
cultivate, you
then
got
I
the
can be a
pinky
little
out.
bit more picky and take my time with finding beats because I like to hear instruments in them, something different.
I bet.
And even if they are on, say if they're on a certain kind of vibe and
And
stuff
then
like that, I want something in the beat that stands
it's
out,
crazy
whether it
though
be
because like
flutes
my
or
way never affected my way
piano
with the
or a
background
certain kind of
video,
thing that will
and
make something
Yeah.
stand
you
out,
showed so many
just so I
different
can
styles to
add
that,
my little bit of
like a
originality to
lot of cats ain't
something.
got that.
Because you can do a
You know,
UK drill beat,
simple
you can
fact,
do
gentlemen,
something
I was
else,
talking to y'all
but you
beforehand
can make
with that,
something your own, and
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 I
so
used the
people
body
have that
bag for
feel
that
of a
video,
beat,
and
but then
there's a
you just switch
DJ
it up on it
that I
completely and
worked
give
with for a
something
long
else.
time, and
And
he
so
actually got
that's what I always try to do is
an artist signed to
I
me
kind
so
of
I can
relate with
record
the
it and
beats
everything.
and
So he
stuff
started
like
doing
that,
that
but then
even
at
the
the
last
same
show
time I give them
around
some of
here.
me. They
So I
get some
made
of those
sure that
bars, they
I
get some
brought
of
that body bag
the
out, had
switches and
somebody carry
everything
me
like that.
actually
So
to
I
the
got to make
venue.
sure
That
that
was the
beat
main
is
event.
on point, no matter if
Somebody
it's
carried me in
something hard
the
or
venue
it's
and the body
something
bag
mellow
on
like
the stage.
Beyonce
That's
knows.
how I
It just
started
gotta kind of click
my
with
set.
me. If I can
Yeah,
freestyle
you
to
need
it
that video
easily,
out.
I know that I can make something crazy
That
with it.
stage
So
was
I just
cool.
start playing with beats
We
really.
gonna play. We about to
Okay.
play the background
What's
track.
up?
Well, I know one thing. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna send you my SoundCloud because I have some
Versatility is
unique beats and
crazy on
sounds,
this
and I would
motherfucker.
love to hear you if you like one of my tracks on one of my tracks. So I'm gonna make sure I send that to you because yeah, you definitely are finding the right beats and mesh with them, uniquely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard thing for most artists nowadays to find a beat that meshes with their style, and it's like whatever beat that you come across, you're able to adapt your style to it, and it just flows naturally. So with all the songs that we've played, I've been in here nodding my head to all of them, and I'm gonna tell 151 now to email me those tracks because I'm gonna play those same tracks on my show because them
Yeah.
joints bangers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we definitely like I said, we see talent a lot, we hear talent a lot, and we would love to help put real music out there. I'm a real critic of hip hop and music in general, and all the stuff that you sent us has been
It's been good.
top notch. And for me to say that, someone that I tell them I don't listen to anything for real past 2005, because that's when I feel hip hop then took a turn for the worse. But the fact that you are who you are and you're putting out this music that has me wanting to throw it in the ride and on a nice day, windows down, banging this joint. They pull up, man. Who that? Man, that's my man A.N.T. We had him on the show. Check him out. I won't have no problem saying that because you got good lyrics. You can feel the passion in your music and the love for it. And like I said, with your beats that you're finding, like I said, you're taking the time to critique it, and you're not just jumping on anybody's track. You're being specific, and actually learning your craft and knowing what your strong suit is. And I applaud you for that because me at my age, I'm trying to still find that. And the fact that you're probably half my age and doing it already, I got to take my hat off to you.
Yeah, yo, CP3.
Yo,
Real talk. You had a fan that someone on YouTube said, there's nothing wrong with carrying onions once. People still need tips.
thank you. Exactly, man. You can spend ones
Oh
anywhere.
I'm about to
no.
burn my YouTube
I
channel.
appre- hey, I appreciate that, man. Thanks. They'll be picking on me, man. Nothing wrong with carrying 100
it's
ones around.
Mm-hmm.
John.
Oh, John. Yeah, John, don't do that.
I'm just John.
Yeah.
Don't do
There's
that,
nothing
John.
wrong with carrying 100 ones. You never know
But
what might
here's the
come
thing
up.
though.
You know what I'm saying? It might be
Whatever.
something on
Don't
sale for
encourage him, John. Don't
$99
encourage.
and you got 99 singles
So
and they
what?
might be short.
Yo, what made you to look at UK drill beats? Because
I like that.
um, that's just very different.
It's very few people that can
So
give you joints and they
I've
like
always liked
all them
dark
joints
type,
kind of
like
rock.
I've always messed with ASAP Rocky type of beat, or like when I was, or something that
None
had
of
a
them.
little dark to it and stuff, or like I don't say
Mm,
Travis Scott, but like then those type of vibes because I used to mess with those vibes before they had like Travis Scott was out. It'll be like it'll be called like face that like trippy type of vibe. So
Mhm.
that had those the things in them, and so UK drill has that dark type of feel, but then it has um the bass is hitting a little bit hard.
You
So
know,
it's
I was
just
just talking
if
to
you can find something
about
like
it
that,
because
and then it also
I'm
includes
real
those
picky with
extra
music.
instruments that you're looking
I
for,
really go out
then I feel
to a lot of beats
that was
where
right up my alley to play with a
I
little
sit
bit
on
more,
I
not
have some
exactly
stuff that's done already,
stay
so I
on
try to stay ahead
the
of
sound
myself
of
so
UK
that I
drill
can
in
be
my
a little bit
verses,
more
but
picky and take
I
my
can
time
ride it
um,
multiple ways
finding
because it's
beats
something that
because
to mess with
I
already.
like to hear instruments,
But I think
something different.
what, picking the
And
right
even if
track
they
and,
are on,
and
say
matching
if
it with
they're
the
on a
right
certain
song
kind
is
of
an art.
vibe and stuff like
Um,
that, I want something
there's a
in
lot of
beat that
times that you
stands
can have
out,
great
whether it
beat
be
and have terrible
flutes
lyrics,
or
have great
piano
lyrics
or a
and
certain
terrible
kind of
beat.
thing that will
Uh,
make something
Hmm.
stand
you have
out,
the selection that
just
you
so I
pick
can
from
add my little bit of
from everything that we played
originality
tonight.
to something.
You know, very
Because
good
you can
selection.
do a
Like
UK
they all
drill beat,
matched
you
up
can do something else,
to what that song should sound
but
like.
you can make something your own,
So I
and
applaud you for that because
and
that
it,
takes
so
a real
people have
talent.
that feel of a
And a
beat,
lot of people
but
try to
then
rush
you
projects like
just
that.
switch it up on them
But
completely and give them
finding the
something
right
else.
beat
And
is
so
a very
um,
critical
that's what I
thing to
always
do
try to
because
do
that
is
can make or break the
I kind of
project.
relate with
Because
the
I'm
beats
telling you, if
and
the
stuff
song is
like
whack,
that,
the
but then
first
at the
song you play
same
is whack.
time
They're
I
probably not
give
gonna play
them
your other
some
songs.
of me. They get some of those
Yeah.
bars, they get some of the
I'll be honest with
switches
you.
and everything like that. So I got
I'm
to
like,
make sure that
you
beat
know what?
is on point, no matter if it's
We can talk
something
about
hard
that.
or it's something mellow like Beyonce
That's just
knows.
my
It just
opinion.
got
But
to
Right.
like I
click
said, I
with
like the
me. If I
selection.
can freestyle to it easily, I know that I can make
Yeah.
something
Got anything
crazy.
else, Lady
So I
Antoinette?
just start playing with beats really.
Not really. Just I just want to commend you for the hard work that you're putting into your craft and your growth. And I just hope and pray that you continue to grow at either that pace or faster if that's what you choose to do. Um, we see artists a lot that come through, they'll talk to us, and then we'll check in with them, and they've kind of fell back or they're stagnant. I'm not gonna name any names, but I know a couple artists that we thought that they were something that they really weren't. They getting to know them a little better. They don't really want to win. They don't really want to succeed. We see that, not just
Hmm.
on the show, but in general, you see that where the artists will fall off, they lose their drive or whatever the case may be. But you're still pushing through, and um, we definitely see it, and so kudos to you. Keep pushing. Ultimately, we want to see everyone win.
Hmm.
So when we see someone actually going out there to get it, winning, we definitely want to acknowledge that.
Um, one of these days, like CP3 grilled today, but we always, we know you're in Roanoke, but
Hmm.
when grilling season start up again, definitely come down.
Nah, you got to come up before grilling season, dog. We got to get that club. We got to get that Beyonce nose banging in the club and get it set up for a video at the club, dog.
He's talk my shit all
I'm
over.
sorry, dog. I'm sorry,
Like,
dog. I'm sorry, dog. We got to get that. That's a banger, dog. You said that too. We got to get that joint
Hey,
out
we'll
there.
talk. Hey, we can do some talking and get something set.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm sorry, bro. I just had to put that out
I'm
there, man. I'm sorry. That joint had me pull my ones out, dog. So I had to jump out
but
there.
You got a fan that
look in the
someone
video. You can
on
feel
YouTube
all
said
these.
there's nothing wrong with you.
if you do come up though, we'll allow you to also do a live
Lord,
performance
I'm
too.
about to burn my YouTube channel after this.
Okay.
We'll feed you, we'll get you drunk, and you can do a live performance.
Hmm.
It's
And then CP3 after the
John.
show will probably take you to a strip club.
Yeah, the club is open on Sundays now.
We know you know.
Right.
Oh yeah, they close on Monday, open on Sunday, and
What's
I'm
the
off on
time?
Tuesday.
What the,
Of course you are.
what time do your favorite
So
strippers do?
what? Yeah, what made
Mm.
I think
what
she
made
off tonight.
UK
She,
drill
Yeah,
so
you know,
just
I think
one favorite.
it's one
Okay.
favorite right now.
Oh, that's
I'm
the one
trying.
you cultivating.
Yeah, you know,
See,
trying
you know
to.
what this I'm talking about,
I'm
right?
just
Here.
trying to see where her mind is.
Oh,
You can,
I bet.
you
I
know,
bet you.
you
Like
can
when I
lead her
was
hold the water, but you
or
can't make her
something that
think. You
has
know what I'm saying?
Wait,
You
artists
what?
with and stuff.
What?
I
And
don't
this
know
is
Travis
not
Scott, but like
pimpology?
different
I'm
nah,
confused.
you just
vibes
having
because I used to
conversation.
mess
Oh
with those
my
You
vibes
just
god.
got to
before
see
they
what her
hit.
You
goal
know
is
what?
in life, what
You
she
know,
trying to do,
It'll
what
be
she
like
when you
trying to
go
that.
home
be.
today, play
it was
CBD
called
weeks or
like
you don't play
Faith
UGK?
that
I'm
It
movie
part.
sounds
with
like
Michael
he's
Fassbender
living it right now.
I'm
that
just
had
saying, you got to see what you want to
Satan in
do,
it.
where she want to
So
be, where she want to go.
it still has that dark type of feel, but then it
She
has
around superstars. She just don't know it
it
yet,
was
baby. I'm a
What?
Faith
superstar
is
every
him a
day.
If
little bit
you
harder.
don't go
And you can find
somewhere,
something like
what
that,
should I
and then it's
say?
also
I'm just
a
saying,
little
it was
extra
my birthday
interesting
last
that
month.
you're looking for.
Last month.
And I feel
Right? Then
that
ain't
was
got
right
nothing to
up
do
my
with this
alley
month.
We
to
going into
play with you
2022
a
like
little
it's
bit
my
more and
birthday
not
every day.
exactly
Oh man.
stay
Yeah.
on
Hey,
the
come on, y'all.
sound
We
of
gotta,
Big
What?
Real in my verses,
Oh,
but
okay.
you
I
know,
provided multiple
we,
verses
you
that
gotta,
come
you gotta
from
change things up,
different
spice things up, switch it up.
One
You
thing,
never know what's out there until you go try it.
I
picking
mean,
the
definitely,
right
definitely.
track and
Um,
matching it with the right song is an art.
your the creativeness
There's a lot of
of
times
your
that you can make a
project, man,
great
have been
beat
dope.
and have
Like,
terrible lyrics,
honestly.
have a great melody and
Yeah,
terrible
you
beat.
definitely gotta do something
Yeah,
right.
hmm
I just
You have
stay
you know
creative with it. Trust
smashing
me,
it
I'm
up
gonna stay on my grind too. Like I
from
said, I know people fall off and
like in the we
everything.
played tonight.
Um, just
Very
being
easy.
around different
They
people
all
and you get
matched
to
up
see who's
to what the
serious
song
about their stuff
sounded
and
like.
what and
Uh,
who's who's
I
not.
applaud you for
But
that because
I
that
think
takes
that
you know
this
a
music is
lot of people
something
try
that
to
is
rush
more
projects
to
like
me
that.
than
But
just
finding the right beat
um a
is
check. I
very
feel like
critical.
if you just make it just a check,
That can make
then
or
I
break
feel
you.
like that
Because
because
I'm
it's a
saying if the
process
song
getting
is
to what
whack,
you want.
first of all
So
you
I
play
feel
it's
like
whack.
if
Nobody
you
has
just
to believe
focus
it.
on that and you're confident enough,
yeah.
you're gonna give up. You have to have a
I'm
passion
honest
for
as
this as
shit.
well because at the end of
It's
the
like
day,
you know what?
if that one scheme don't work, people get from that. You want to come into things with multiple
That's
schemes.
just
So if
Right.
like I said, I like
miss
picking
out
the
on something, you have a backup plan. You just
Mm-hmm.
you restructure those plans to make those plans work.
So
Mm.
one of the things I wanna go back to because after really listening to your music, um, do not do not get caught up in trying to help people that aren't ready. Like if they ready, definitely
Hmm.
do what you do, you know. But I just posted something the other day. This is something I tell my artists, my nephew Renegade all the time. It's not my job to slow down. It's your job to keep up. If you are moving in the right direction, then you need to continue that. If people are like, well, I want to be like you, I want to get like you, then they need to keep up. You don't need to slow down. And that is the one thing I tell him all the time. And actually, he finally started to get it. Like, it
hmm
is not our job to slow down. It is your job. Like, if you're trying to be where I be, it is your job to keep up.
No doubt. And I want to piggyback off of something that you said about the passion and about the folks that's in it for a paycheck and the folks that actually have the passion and love for it and want to do it and put in the work behind the scenes, not just putting the record out and that's it. That's very crucial having that mindset. I've said that I don't know how many times about everything from the sports media, from what I do
one of these
to the
days,
music that folks are just doing it for a paycheck. They're looking for a one hit wonder just so they can, not have to go work at McDonald's because they can't do nothing else.
start up again.
So you actually have the passion and will and want to be, good and want to impact this music game in a positive way and not just looking for a quick buck. So I commend you for that. I'm trying to think that you've been listening on some of our shows, man, because that's the same some stuff that I've been saying.
Yo, shout out to Janelle Wants a Cool Intention, my dog, my family.
Hey,
Uh,
we'll talk. Hey,
he
we can
actually
keep
when he got
talking
shut
and
down, he went
get
straight to
something set
YouTube,
up.
Mm-hmm.
and he said the Never Back Down joint should be
I'm
pushed to HBCUs as a
But
team
not only
theme
not
song
only
Mm-hmm.
for the
look if
yo.
the
That's not a
video
badass
go off.
hit. I ain't
But
gonna lie.
honestly, that's when you hear the
not only
song.
It has that vibe now that I think
Yeah,
about
but
it.
it's not just the HBCUs.
will
Let's
allow
be
you to
real.
also
I've
allow
heard songs similar, um,
Okay.
at Wizards games
Yeah,
and
will get you
uh,
you can do a live performance
NFL games.
and then see
yeah,
if you
So
you got the
NBA,
effort
NFL, that's
to
I
definitely
mean,
one of those get you hype songs.
yeah. I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, you know, I remember watching the NBA and watching,
what's the
and I
time
wasn't a fan of Jim Jones, but when Ballin
what's
hit,
the,
that shit was
what
crucial. It was
times are your
everywhere.
favorite stripping?
Mm-hmm.
And when the NBA picked it up, it changed his income definitely.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, Baldwin was like
Yeah,
I felt like
see,
it was meant for
The
the
NBA,
NBA. Like
yeah. I
he
mean,
literally went, yeah,
we got to make a song for hockey, dog. Trust me, watching hockey right now. We got to make a song for hockey. Maybe we can get paid off for that. Ain't nobody doing nothing for hockey, dog. We got to make something. We got to make a banger for hockey.
we can throw sticks.
Wait,
Slap shot.
You know what? Make sure
I feel
When you
like
go home today, see the niggas
slap
still ain't gonna
shot.
say
I
Yeah,
feel like nah.
It sounds like that shot.
That sounds like another one of your stripper songs.
exactly. It's multi. It'll be multifaceted. It'll be for the sports joint and for the strip club. So when
So
you
are
go
you
to the
gonna have a
club,
stripper?
Hockey is
Are you gonna have
not
strippers
about
playing
the stripper
hockey?
life.
I had hockey. I had strippers playing shooting pool. If I can get them
Okay.
on ice skates, who
Oh
knows?
my god.
Hey man, some of them talented, man. You never know.
You know, you just really take these conversations with you.
Because you asked me a serious question. I had bikini billiards at the strip club. I was trying to get it going, but they changed management. You know that.
Of course.
Look, it was. Hey, I got over 1,000 views on my YouTube.
I'm
Shit.
sure you
I mean,
did.
Had,
definitely.
there's some music on it.
Mhm.
The thong shot was
He about
great.
to have
You
a
know,
whole OnlyFans now.
creativeness
I'm just
of any
saying.
type of
I'm gonna
project
go.
is
I
gonna
told
be
you it's a new crop. I'm
That
trying to
should
see
be
what I
called
can
only
do.
CP3.
Hey,
um,
they got
I'm
rid of the
about to
pool table.
play the new video.
They can play with my
Creative,
balls.
but I think
What?
On that note, I'm playing the new video.
people fall off and everything. Um, just being around different people and you get to see who's serious about their
8 ball
stuff
corner
and
pocket.
who's who's
Like
not. But
ASAP.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
that
2 balls
good
score the
music is something that
pocket.
where to me was just
And your video team got some nice
a check.
production
I
too.
feel like if you just make it just a check, then I feel like that because it's a process getting to what you want. So I feel like if you just focus on that and your grind ain't enough, you're gonna give up. You have to have a passion for this as well.
Shout out to
Because
Bel
at the end of
Air.
the day, if that one scheme don't work, people get that you want to come into things with multiple schemes. So if you know miss out on something, you have a backup plan. You just you restructure those plans to make those plans work.
so one thing I wanna go back to. I've been really listening to your music. And I keep pulling up Spotify to help me some joints. HBCUs as a community. Yo, that's a badass initiative. You play that live now, right?
Get the highs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got like I don't know who watches NBA, but I wasn't a fan of Tim Duncan. But the more you hit that shit, you know, it
Way they
like that shot. So you gonna send me some content?
I ain't talk to him, and I don't know how long.
It should be called Only CP3.
Nah,
I'm about
I
to.
just I had no
I'm about
idea.
to.
You know,
Oh, you know I'm playing a new video.
He got like 3,000 views or 3,200 views on that joint. I like that joint. It's been out 2 months.
We see you.
yeah, I gotta get that link for my show out there tomorrow night. I get the link from 151. But you got a page to subscribe to on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna forward you the email because like it has a link to both the videos and it has the songs in there.
All right, bet, bet.
The for real song is that's on my boy T Bell's YouTube right there. That's let me see here. Um, if you type in Ant Life with a Y, then you'll find me. You'll find all my songs there.
All right. Yeah, I think I know.
And so all the music videos, you see a little bit of variety in there as well. And then what I'll do is I'll make sure I send y'all a link to your city as well when that comes out.
Okay. And you on all digital platforms, right?
Yeah, I'm on digital platforms, A.N.T.
I'm gonna appreciate that that you came through because we had a cancellation at the last moment and Alexis reached out and you was like, oh, I'm and then I love when an artist sends music and sends more than enough. Like he sent 3 songs, 2 videos. Like, that's how you artists pay attention. That's how you should be sending this shit. Don't just send me one song. Right? You just got one song. You do. I don't want to do this. What we gonna discuss?
You are the weakest link.
I mean, I'm just being honest. I know it sounds like I'm being an asshole, but we will. Like, you got one song, don't fucking with. You got a panel up here. You got DJs that we deal with. You got other podcasts that we deal with. Like,
I got
one
one
song you
song.
got to be fucking amazing.
I got one song called Shit.
You know, but send me the catalog. Let us choose because your idea, like last week, our guest, he the song he chose that he took was a banger. He was like, ah, it's okay, but the song he played afterwards, he was like, oh, yeah. So, but that's what happens if you give us a catalog of variety, we can judge it on the variety versus, well, if it's just one, it's like, oh, if that one don't hit with us, we're going to tell you, it don't hit.
But even still, like, you gotta always remember, as an artist, your favorite may not be your fans' favorite.
Exactly.
You know, so send us everything, or like a lot of times, like we know Erica Badu started a song talking about how artists feel about their music.
I'm sensitive about my shit.
And what you may have put your heart and soul into, that would be your favorite, and that's the reason why. But what's hitting in these streets may not be that song. So definitely send us, multiple things, which you obviously have done, and we appreciate that.
But that's the real thing. Like,
My
the
boy
top of the shit, when I was an artist, I will
YouTube
never
right
forget
there.
this.
If let me
I had
see
to do
here.
this song for Outside the Club, and it was everything.
If you
It was,
type in
and I made it to be a
Anti Life
performance
with a
song.
Y,
But on the
then
B
you'll
side,
find me. You'll
I had
find
this song
all my
called
songs
What?
on there.
It ain't had no fucking chorus because the motherfucker was just saying what. And I remember
And
giving my CD to
so
my cousin,
all the music and
who,
also the videos, you'll
my
see a
younger
little bit of
cousin, he
variety
originally
on
from New
there
York,
as
he had moved
well.
down here.
And
And
then
he looked
what
at
I'll
me and he
do is
said,
I'll
yo,
make sure
yeah,
I
that
send
outside
y'all
the club
links
is
to your
okay.
city as
He said, but
well,
that other one with
so
that
that way
down
you know.
south beat,
Okay.
dog, you killed
And
that
you
joint.
on all
I was
digital
like, what the
platforms,
fuck?
right?
And
Yeah, I'm on
You had
digital
that joint on your
platforms.
B side.
it was
A.N.T.
but then when I noticed when I performed it, like people got a little, yeah, outside the club was okay.
Hmm.
Finish his
I
little
performed
shit.
what? You thought I was a superstar.
I
You just never
appreciate
know
that
what the fans are going to
that
think.
you
And I learned that. The fans picked that show. So I had to make it a performance song because that's what the fans picked.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Mhm.
artists, big artists, that they say
And then
their least favorite songs would be the
I love
ones
when an
that's
artist sends
their biggest
music
hit.
and
Yeah.
sends more than enough. Like you
So
said,
so
3 songs
that
and 2 videos, and
um
like
I ain't
that's
got no
how
more
you
questions.
artists pay attention. That's how you should be sending your shit.
Well,
Don't just
while,
send me
I
one
do have a
song. Like,
question.
if
While
you
we're
got one
talking
song for me,
about it,
I
what
don't
is
want to hear
your
it.
favorite song?
What the fuck we gonna discuss? One song.
What is my favorite song?
I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. I
I've
know
been
it sounds
liking
like I'm
that
being an
silent
asshole, but
joint just
for the real,
recently,
like
just
you got
because
one
it's
song,
fresh.
don't fucking
But
waste my time.
I,
Like we got a panel up here. We
it's a
We
toss
got
up. I like
we
that. I
got
like the song
DJs
that I
we can
did
deal
for
with. We
called
got
"Old Go."
podcasts we have to
Um,
deal with. Like
that's on my
the one
YouTube
song you
page
got
as
got
well.
fucking amazing. You know,
And I'm trying to think
but
this one
send
right
us
here, this
the
Beyonce
catalog.
knows.
Let us
I really
contribute
like the
because
vibe of
your
that because
That's just
ideas,
something special.
like last week, our guest,
yeah,
he
I just like
he
something about that. I
the
really like
song
the
he
vibe
chose
of
that
that's on.
he thought was a banger.
That's
It's like I
that's
asked him,
a
hey, what's
different
the song?
style than
He said
the
afternoon.
turn
He's
up
like,
and stuff
okay, yeah,
like
I
that.
like that joint too.
Um,
So
I don't know.
that's what
I
you
just
do.
like
You
the
get a
whole
if you
how it
a
all fit
catalog of
together and stuff
variety,
like that.
we can
So
judge it
Mhm.
that's
on
probably
variety
something that's
versus
unexpected
well,
that people
if it's just
wouldn't,
one, it's like,
because
oh, if that
I
one don't
go
hit with us, we
crazy at
gonna
the
tell you
show,
it
but
don't
if
hit.
if I go and left that out, they'll switch up everything, and I feel like that's a nice vibe.
Mhm.
Man, I already got a vision for the video, dog.
I bet you do.
Hey,
Man, sliding down the pole.
I feel like that's your vision for everything anyway,
Everything.
so it doesn't matter.
It fits though.
If it's
You're funny,
okay.
dude. A shout out to Jamel. He said he actually, he got an idea for a hockey song before that thing cross check.
Okay, I can see that.
You gotta be hype, not a stripper song.
Cross check, bitch.
You know what?
you know,
You're not gonna play that at your hockey game.
Well, we
but
got
I think
But that's still realistic.
I
Like
like the fact that you did
I
that
remember
that, that,
when I was
that
an
you just have
artist, I will
such a
never forget
different
this.
vibe
I had to just
and
outside the
creative
club,
vibe for
and
the music. Because like I
it
said,
was everything. It was,
you never know
and I
what's
made
gonna
it to be a
hit,
performance
and
song.
like
But on the
when
B
you give us
side,
something
I had this song
that's
called
different.
What.
Like
It
we
ain't
were
have no
all on,
fucking
we was
chorus
feeling
to
the
it.
hip hop
Nothing
and
but
all
just
that.
saying what,
You
what.
dropped this
And I
Beyonce knows
remember
you.
Mhm.
giving my
Oh
CD to
shit!
my cousin,
He actually said he could have something different,
my younger
and
cousin.
it
He
was.
was here in New
I'm
Jersey,
dropping ones tonight,
and
baby, because of
because of
you.
you.
Because of you, baby.
And
Don't
I was
don't
at a
blame
club
nobody
that
else but
day.
yourself.
It ain't my fault.
Over
The
on
voice done
Downside
changed 6 times already. This show ain't no
I'm waiting for her
It's
to
gonna be
respond.
about 12 after we
I'm
done.
just
But
seeing
we'll
if she at
come.
work or she at home.
You
So
texting her
somebody,
now?
yeah,
it was,
somebody getting these
but
ones
this when I
tonight.
noticed
See what you
when I
done did?
performed it,
Oh
You
my
see what you
goodness.
done
like
did,
when I
Somebody,
A.N.T.?
I done had them
told
for
the
4 days.
club ago,
Somebody getting these ones tonight. They didn't been in my
I was doing
possession
what
too
when I
long.
was assistant.
But
You
yeah.
just never know what
I
the
love the
fucking
fact
come
that you're
with,
versatile.
and I learned that. You
I
know,
love
the fans
love the
picked it.
fact that you took the
So
body
I
of
had to
work.
make it a
I love
performance
the fact
song
that
because that's what the fans picked.
you've been networking, you've been growing, and we're just here to support. I mean, um, I love when artists check back in
Yeah.
to the podcast. I love when artists are ready to show,
So definitely.
what I got something to do. So
Um,
that stuff like that makes our job easier. It makes us proud. Simply done.
I'm glad I can link back up with you. It's always good. It's always combo when, just
One of
like
my
last
favorite
time talking
songs.
to you.
Always, man. You know we don't have a
I've been
party,
liking
man.
like silent
We just need
joints
you
just
live in the
recently,
studio.
just
Now you
because
done
it's
did two
fresh.
phone interviews. Now you just need
Uh-huh.
to come down
You
live in
need
the
to come
studio.
out.
It's
You
a
think it's
toss
fun
up.
on the
I like
phone? Wait
Oh,
till
I
you
like
get
the
here.
song that I did called On Go.
got you.
Um,
Listen, new
that song
year,
has
new
been
fools.
played
I have to
well.
come over.
Mhm.
You know, we
We
promise to show you a good time.
I'm trying to think.
and
This one
don't
right
judge
here,
us for the
Beyonce
off the
knows.
air
I really like
combo,
the
Oh
okay?
vibe
yeah,
of that
off the air
just
combos.
because
You think the on air combos crazy? You gotta hit the shit
yeah,
on
I just
Hey,
I just
when
like
the mic's
something
on
about
on.
that. I really like the
You
vibe of
gonna
it.
leave like, man, that was some
the mic
real
on.
shit.
It's a
Let's
good time.
different
Mic off.
styles
You have a
and
good time.
turn up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, sometimes my mic always live, dog. So I got behind the scenes footage on my feed.
Yeah, you know you gotta stop that shit.
Hey, man.
You will get in trouble.
Hey,
You will
man.
get in so much trouble.
I speak the truth. It come out on video or in real life, no matter
Yeah,
what.
don't say nothing to us when somebody comments
That's
on
fine.
your feed.
They know where I
Um,
be.
yeah, so we're not gonna keep you much longer, man. We appreciate it, love the energy, love the music. I'll be forwarding your music to CP3. He has a show, um, Sports on the Hill podcast. He
so shout
plays
out to Jamil. He said he
if the
asked me,
songs are hot, he
he got an
plays them
idea
on his show. And
for a
that's
hockey song.
and that's what we talk about networking and stuff like that because you never know who's tapping into this. You know, my man Jamil Wandsworth. If your music, you said it's available on all streaming platforms. If those songs are on Amazon or easy downloads off of Amazon, if they're on Amazon, he's downloading them right now.
Okay, yeah, they on there.
Yeah. So if they're on Spotify, even though here's the thing, this is the realest shit. Even though I have the emails, I still go to Spotify and I download the songs I
Yeah,
have
so
to my
you get
playlist.
credit.
We were all
Yeah.
feeling the hip hop and all that, and you dropped
You
that
know,
Beyonce
I
knows.
appreciate it. That's love. I
Shit.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
And,
see shit can get a little
I just
something different.
like how y'all said,
And
some
it
of the variety
was.
and stuff, and I'm glad that y'all enjoyed the variety as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. We appreciate good music. Like I said, we got the love and the passion. We can feel it in your music. So I mean, hey, it's a joy to have you on and present this good music. And like I said, I'm real skeptical about this, new
You used a
age
lot of big
music.
words tonight there,
But
son.
you
Man,
messing them up too, though. Like,
blame it on the Look, I always got a thought process, but
But
sometimes words just go
I
real
like
we
the
slurred.
fact
his
that
eyes ain't even showing. Like, it's
I'm
bad.
black and East.
I
Leave
like
me
the fact
alone. I'm
that
off
You
from the
about to be
carry out
Uber at
tonight.
least. You about to pull your ass
I like the fact that
over.
I'm still
He
functional.
can't talk.
that
He
I'm
was
can't.
still functional. I can still whip. God damn it. I done made
You
it
can
home.
still
Made it.
what?
I can still whip. God damn it.
Mm.
I love when artists check that
Yeah, but
music
it's definitely a pleasure
wise
having
because
you
I
on,
love when
man. You
artists
definitely
separate
bringing some
themselves
good
from the
music out
regular
that needs to
stuff. So
be
that
heard,
stuff right there makes our job
more.
easier basically.
And we definitely appreciate having you on, man. You definitely got to get up here because we definitely going to have a good time when you come on out.
It's
Okay,
always
yeah.
it's
Well,
always
I'll
good
be in touch
convo.
real soon,
Just
and
like last
matter
time.
of fact, I'll be in touch with the new year,
Oh yeah, we love playing
January
with
1st, just
artists,
to
man.
share
We
and
need
then
you live in the
to
studio,
talk
man. You
about
done did
linking up for sure.
two phone interviews.
Yeah, man,
Now
you
you
got to
need
get
to
up
come
here. We
down
make
live
some
in the
things
studio.
happen, man. Just let me know when
Take the
you're on the
photos
way,
along,
and all I got to do is make a couple of
AKA.
phone calls.
Oh, I got you.
All right, bet.
New year, new moves. All right, I'm open.
You know, your shit be sounding real
We promise to show
ghetto-ish,
you a better
I'm
thuggish.
side.
just
I
saying,
just gotta make a
man.
couple of phone calls. What type of phone
You
calls?
gotta make. I mean,
You killing
you.
somebody or
No,
you
I'm
got a
just.
hooker coming over?
You
Tell me
got
which.
connections. You gotta make
You
phone
gotta get
calls.
with the
Send
Hey,
texts.
with the mic
Sometimes send
artist.
carrier pigeon because everybody don't use phones.
A
with the
what?
mic
Carrier
artist,
pigeon.
You know
the
what?
mic
You gotta
artist
use
at the
those.
same time.
Y'all don't know
All
about
right.
carrier
I
pigeon?
know exactly what they
Oh,
are.
okay.
All right, and we gonna A.N.T. We gonna let
Hey.
you go. As you can see, CP3 is off the hook. We can't control
He
the
a
shit that
whole
you try to
preaching
say.
nigga. Like, what?
I don't even know how we got to carrier pigeons. I
Told
just went
you,
to go get a drink
I
and
got
came
skills.
back. We were on carrier
Yeah,
pigeons.
so
Yeah.
I can train animals,
we
dog.
Oh
appreciate
my
it. Love to
I
God.
hear
got
you about the
skills.
music. I'll
Okay,
be
honey.
Throw a
closing you
couple
with
funny for feet
CP3
tonight, you know what I
as
mean? Throw a couple,
we end the show.
No doubt,
Um,
depending on if she off work or
Listen to
not,
your
dog. She might
podcast.
get the whole
Either
roll
So
tonight.
way,
I
wait,
don't
you
know.
encouraging
the
this?
songs are hot.
I'm
All
just
you
saying,
gotta
he
do is
got the
come through.
song. He know what he doing. He done been there before.
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 Never know who's tapping in here.
Man,
Cannot
My
take
man
you.
Jamil
I
One.
cannot take you.
If you
we on the
can,
same
send those
wavelength, dog.
videos
Sometimes you
across to
need
me,
that.
man.
Yeah, slide down the pole, slide down my pole. It's all the
What?
same
The
thing.
downloads off
Yeah.
of Amazon. If
This
they're on
is now
Amazon,
this
the
nigga
downloads are
became an
free.
advertisement for
Okay,
CP3's
I'm
pole.
just,
I'm just oh my goodness.
Hey,
Run.
no,
hey
no
man,
lie.
Christmas time, baby.
No,
Oh
here's
no.
the thing.
Jingle bells.
No.
Even though I have the emails
I got some
with
mistletoe.
What
I
what?
can go to Spotify and I
Stop it.
download the songs and I add them to my playlist. Yeah,
What's wrong with him?
you
All
know.
right, dog. We gonna let you
much
out. I
love.
just
I
gotta
appreciate it. I mean,
we're gonna talk a
I
little
just
bit more and then
like how y'all said sending the
before we end the
variety
show.
and
The
stuff,
CP3
and I'm
go.
glad that
Yeah.
y'all
We
enjoyed the
done
variety
made
as
All
well.
we
right,
made a
thank
drink
you,
and
dog, for
tequila.
calling in, man. And look,
yeah.
you drop a new project. Let us know. Like I said, we gonna support. I'm gonna throw some likes on the video as well and a couple of comments because the one thing about us, we do actually support.
Indeed.
You using a lot of big
And then
words
I'll send
tonight.
the link to the YouTube for the show so that you can definitely add it to your archives as well.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all as well. And, since I ain't gonna talk to y'all
Yeah, we
before this,
about to be Uber in these. We about to
I
close
have a
out
good
soon. Get the money.
holiday, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yes,
All right,
happy
man.
New
Be
Year to
easy,
you as
man. Be
well.
safe and enjoy your family, dog.
All right, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, but it's definitely a pleasure having you on, man. You definitely bring some
Now,
good
what you
music
shaking
out
your
that
head
needs
for?
to be heard.
You the one sitting up in here can't can't act right.
It just,
You off the hook tonight.
He's
man,
shaking his
it
head.
just happens, man.
Okay,
It
yeah.
just
Well,
comes out.
I'll be in
Like
touch.
you
This is
disappointed in
this is
something.
this
We
is
Matter of fact, I'll
disappointed
be in
in the
touch
stuff that
before the
then
year
came
is
out
out.
your mouth.
this is my chance to cut loose. You gotta
I'm
understand
disappointed
that.
that you pulled out a wad of ones.
What?
All
There's
right,
nothing wrong with 100 ones. What is wrong with that? It's called
let me
being prepared.
let me go play the Renegade video
Yeah,
too.
so we gotta cut to something else because quickly
No, you should be
and
Man,
cut his mic.
ghetto-ish, thuggish.
nothing
Sound like
wrong
a
with
couple of
carrying a
phone
hundred
calls. What type
ones,
of phone
people.
calls?
There's nothing
Are
wrong.
you killing somebody or you got a hooker coming over? You know what?
I was down now. I'm really about to go
As
get
I'm
up.
eating before I start acting like you
Turn
don't
around,
need
and that
two
nigga
of
can't
us.
get
Let
up.
you go.
That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. Money be
We
calling,
can't
we
just
don't
throw
do
the
the
shit that
vision.
you try to his mouth.
The feds be watching, I just gotta get
I
up.
got to carry a pigeon.
I was just down, now
I
I'ma
just
get
went to go
up.
get a drink, and I came back. We was
Thinking on
ordering.
me, I better didn't get up.
It's a delay now. It's
It
lagging.
is
Money was
real
low, but now I'ma
bad.
get up.
Throw a couple ones for me tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Never get up. Looking this way, I'm doing sit up. Was just dirty, now I got my fit up. These bitches, I bet they gon' miss us. I have to beg if you think that I'm
Yeah,
true.
that's beef kill box. Beef kill box.
Even though niggas don't know what to get on. You ain't shit.
All the way to the
See the
ATM.
niggas going get on.
I give you
Get you some back, go make a flip homes. Yeah, I'm stuck in my bad ways. Niggas always being burned down, so I dip them all in.
automatic
I
payment.
don't understand these niggas that
So
just
it
always
was
talking about
declined
getting
for my Disney
pass ways. I don't understand these niggas always compare me to the past day. Give a fuck about you.
Alright, dog. We're gonna let you out. I just gotta gonna talk a little bit more on it, but put me in the show.
Okay.
Niggas ain't fucking with me. You know how they know workers and put them aside. They say that I'm cause the devil will pride. I'm so sick of catching these niggas go follow. Catching them feelings, you catching them silence. Did you get that? I fucking wallow. Ain't got no time when I see this Movado. They just shot them in on the color. Looking at me like I done
Had
the
a
lotto.
had a private session set up.
Talking that trash, yeah, on Twitter. Bitch, she be bad, yeah, I'm with her. When she see me, her face be lit up. Boy, better go ahead and mind your business. I'm back and forth like tennis. Run this game, I don't get no finna. But we about to
I
get
have a
up.
good holiday, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
10 rounds and that nigga can't get up.
Are you doing more than one
What
video?
you do when you go fuck with the theater?
All right, y'all.
Nigga calling, we don't do the vision.
Ratings might go up.
Just gotta get up.
Like eat
I was
that
just
girl.
down, now I'ma get up.
Eat that kill box, girl.
Sleeping on me, I better get
Is
up.
that mustard?
My money was low, but now I'ma get up. Oh,
Alright, let me go play the Renegade video cause
They like, yeah, you need to get her for interview.
Who this girl?
Yeah, I got my face covered. I did.
I was down, now I'm really about to go get up. 10 rounds and that nigga can't get up. That's what you get when you go fuck with the vision. My money be calling, we don't do the vision. The feds be watching, I just gotta get up. I was just down, now I'ma
Ladies, live your life for a reason.
money was
And
low,
put that
but now
tempo
I'ma
in
get
your
up.
eye and cuff your season. And shoot your shot, cause you out like believe it. With your
I'm doing
fly,
sit-ups.
baby, and you keep on teasing.
I was just dirty, now I got my fit up.
And now I'm trying to
Two
get
of these bitches, I bet they gon' miss us. And I pack a bag if you think that I'm trippin'.
now.
I keep this shit risky, like
I
I'm
know why you know that.
That's how you eat. I only need one.
You said what?
I need one.
get you some pack, go make a flip homes. Yeah, I'm stuck in my bad ways. Niggas always being burnt out, so I dip them all in the ashtray. I don't understand these niggas that you always talking about, yeah, they past ways. I don't understand these bitches always come around me till they past days. I give a fuck about you, you give a fuck about me. I just be rapping for money, you be rapping for free.
You love me like you just might be with all that freaky shit. I don't understand where the leg and put it in, but get upstairs and lick it. I know what you're saying. Don't worry, I'm play fair. I put the work in, I'm twerking. You told me in the air. Whoa, I'm sorry.
She was on there. She started crying.
Girl, my toes, baby.
I just couldn't remember.
And your YouTube feed lagging.
Y'all see the video? It still got red.
Yeah. Feedback on pushing me because
But we got
I'd have got more rating. I got more rating. This joint lagging, so the music not matching up with the video. No, he still ain't played the second joint.
we still got one game on our phone.
Have a nice night. Always mean I'm trying to come in, so I can come in. Huh? No. No.
He over here talking. Actually,
No, I was saying you said I was, yeah, I only say that when I'm trying to come in, and then when I come in, I'm trying to come in, you know.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, ski. That's watching Dave back.
He's watching who?
Dave Chappelle. Some old Dave
And
Chappelle.
you saying Dave like?
That's my man. I went to Ohio to see him before.
You said what?
I went to Ohio to see him perform. Yeah.
Did you go out to see him or did you go out to see him?
That's what I was like. Who was it?
I was with my girl that was working in Ohio at the time.
Okay.
Queen or was she
It was the one that worked for the oil company. She was working customer. She was working in
I feel
Ohio.
like it was like the only relationship you had with a black chick.
No, my last chick I was with was a black chick.
We don't like talk about it.
Everything was cool till we moved in together. I like to erase those 2 years.
Oh.
Those years don't exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know. And so I don't get my vindictive personality doesn't come out. So I forget those things because yeah. So when shit don't add up and you put the facts in front of somebody's face and they give you a bullshit answer and you're like, really you're gonna insult my intelligence like that. And then see in a situation like that, normally I would plot the plan and do something
But
else.
this time
I walked away. Yeah, I walked away.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. But it's crazy because the one time that you showed maturity, you don't talk about.
It's hard because I want that vindictive. I miss that vindictive side of it because you get so much joy and pleasure out of ruining someone's life. Because when someone does something to me, it's like you're attacking my livelihood and my life. I just go about my day, minding my business. If you don't like me, that's cool. I understand. I'm not for everyone. But when you actively try to do something to affect my life in a negative way, I take that as a personal attack. And that's the Scorpio in me. I know that. That's the vindictive personality in me. I know that.
So, can we talk about something really positive?
I mean, we can. We just having Dr. Phil on.
But I got some positive stuff.
What you got there?
Well, I want to give a real actual shout out to a homegirl, Johncia Dixon. She's PG County's own. We grew up in the same area, went to same high school. She's living out in Cali now, and she was on OWN today.
Mm-hmm.
On the holiday fight what is it called?
Yeah,
It was the food thing that they have on
But the catering joint.
it's where they're cooking. It's like a competition. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it?
No, for the one for Christmas for the holidays. I
Mhm.
think I saw the
Mhm.
advertisement for it. I was
Yeah.
watching Discovery ID the other day.
You was watching on Discovery every
I
day.
was just watching the show. Somebody getting away with
Okay.
murder. How they got away with it.
what's how you
But
gonna
yeah,
yo?
she's doing big things.
Girl,
She's been all over
have a nice
everything.
night.
So I'm definitely proud of her. And like I said, being on OWN, that's a big thing.
That is, that is.
It's a really big thing.
Is it kind of like Lifetime?
No, that's Oprah's thing.
OWN is
No, I'm
Oprah.
just saying like Lifetime is like the
Are you
most.
are you just gonna sit the hats there? You're not gonna tell us about the hats?
I
Yeah, he's
mean,
not telling
I
us
did a
nothing.
quick little segue earlier, but we
Yeah.
got the new Sports on the Hill podcast hats. You can go check out the website sportsothp.com for some of the shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, towels, backdrops, whatever you want. But for the hats, hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Carol Porter the Third with three eyes. I get those made personally, so there's going to be shipping and handling, and we'll discuss the price because you get this beautiful stitching of the Sports and Nail podcast, and
So that's distant, right?
that's stitch, that's embroidery, baby, that's
Hmm.
embroidery, that's craftsmanship right there.
Okay.
Yeah, foreigners did a great job.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know, you were doing so. You were doing so good, and
I'm
then you
just
just got
saying.
you the stop sign. Just
I
Yeah.
mean, I will give them a shout out, but it took almost a month to get it done when they told me a week.
you was going so good, so good.
I
Yeah.
mean, she looked out. I'm deciding if I'm gonna keep my business with them, depending on how the hats move. I do like the new design. This is our fourth design that we have, so we're
They look
expanding.
good though. I ain't gonna lie, the
Yeah.
hats really do look
They
good.
do.
Yeah, she did a good
In
job.
every color, like the
They
blue one
look
looks really good.
they
That
look
blue one
really
looks really
official.
good. That black one looks and that white one. They
And the
they
red
did
in
some
this
good job.
area with the as far as our
Mm,
sports teams and stuff, that's
exactly.
perfect.
You know.
Like that blue's almost like the Washington Capitals type of.
Yeah, that's
In
what
the
I told.
red too, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
interchangeable.
She asked me what colors do I want. I said, I'm colorblind. You go ahead and pick the colors and do what it do. You're the professional. So, yeah, it did definitely come out nice. Like I said, I'm in talks with continuing the contract. So, hit me up if you're interested. We'll appreciate the support. Appreciate you supporting the movement because we're putting real DC sports out there. DC sports are the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do, baby.
Okay.
Every day, all day.
You need to get you some burgundy and gold ones.
I know they had some with the last batch that I had, but I sold out of those. They didn't have any this time. So, like I said, I'm looking for a wholesaler right now because that's definitely going to, help with the, profit margin and everything because I am a businessman. So, I don't do this just for fun. I don't do this for fun, Mike.
Um. Oh, so the other, not the other. Yesterday, I actually watched Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you like it?
that shit was awesome.
Mm.
They had every Spider-Man from all the other movies. They all talked about they finally did a they finally fixed a lot of shit that went wrong in Spider-Man 2.
Good, good.
Not Spider-Man. You know the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
So the one like they they made Electro really cool looking with this,
Mm-hmm.
and um, even though he didn't have the classic Electro costume, when they amped up his power, his the electricity when it ran across his face, it made the Electro like mad.
Okay.
And
That's
You know, you
but they
you
and Jamie
like
Foxx
you
looked good and they did a good job.
okay.
Um,
Good.
Having all three of the Spider-Man was really cool.
When they said that they were gonna do that, I was actually really excited.
Yeah, comic book
'Cause
wise,
I really like Toby. I like I
and
like
and, and,
Toby.
and, and, and when Tobey Maguire when he pops up,
Mhm.
everybody's like, ah.
Yeah. This is
Unfortunately, I saw this on the Fire Stick, so I didn't go to the movie theater. But I would actually see it in the
yeah. I'm debating. I haven't been in a movie theater, and I'm
yeah,
a movie theater head. Like I
I
love
was.
going to the movie
I had the
theater.
A.N.T. card, everything.
That right, and I have not been in a movie theater since COVID,
Yeah,
so
because
that part concerns me.
because if a nigga cough too hard, I'm leaving.
Yeah, and then it ruins your
Yeah.
movie.
You know, you were
So
So
going
I
so.
definitely
You were
want
going
to.
so.
this one was good though, right? And honestly, it's one of those things that
Just went left.
I wouldn't even mind seeing it because it was so good.
Mhm.
You was going
Man, I was
so good, so good.
like a little kid this morning.
Yeah.
I found that shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I was like, hang on.
Yeah.
I laid in the bed,
My daughter wants to see
and
it.
it was
She's
They
in
look
town.
good though.
it was dope. The plot was dope.
Mhm.
In every color, like
A
the
lot of
blue
people
one
don't
looks really good.
understand
That blue one looks
the
really
concept of
good.
Spider-Man
That black one looks
because
look.
you know
That white joint.
one of my friends that wrote on
They
the
did some
thing,
good job.
they had Spider-Man too. Like all they had Spider-Man for emotion.
But
That's
that
what
blue's
makes
almost like
Spider-Man
a wash.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's what makes him different from any other hero is because Spider-Man,
Yeah. Oh
when you
yeah.
deep into his character in the comic book,
It pulls at your heartstrings.
he deals with loss more than any other character.
Mhm.
But he deals with loss on a human level.
Yeah.
He didn't become Batman. Like the fact that he's Spider-Man is because he lost Uncle Ben, and it's the guilt of losing Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
The fact then years later he lost Gwen Stacy,
Mhm.
and those are the things that haunt him
Yeah.
and push him to do the things that he does. One of the things that they wrote in the comic book, which I thought was brilliant, they never even used is that Spider-Man actually is so strong, even though he's a small kid. He
Yeah.
pulls his punches when he fights
Yeah.
the villains because if he did, he would literally knock their head off. Spider-Man's strength level is like 25 times.
Right. And that's if you think about if you have an ant or an actual spider, the strength that they have
Spider-Man 3.
versus their body.
Yeah.
When you make them our size, then how powerful is that?
you know.
Gonna be? Right. So that's what
They all talked
Spider
about
Man.
that. He
Yeah.
finally did a.
And
They
it's
finally
I
fixed
thought
a
they
lot
did
of
a
shit
good
that went
job
wrong in
of showing
Spider-Man
the
2.
dynamic of each one of them
Not
having
the Amazing
crisis
Spider-Man.
of faith,
So the one
and
like they
and
made
Tobey
Electro
Maguire
really
actually
cool
picked his
looking
phone
with
and
this.
and you know I'm not
Um,
gonna ruin it for everybody.
even
Yeah,
though
to
he
get
didn't have the
with
classic
Tom
Electro
Holland.
costume, when they amped up his
And
power, his
and
the electricity
the
when it ran across
Amazing
his face,
Spider-Man,
it made the
Andrew.
Electro like Max. And but Jamie Foxx looked good. They did a good
I
job.
didn't even watch that one.
He had all three of the
A lot of
Spider-Man.
people.
The first one was good. The second one was
We know Toby.
Yeah, I know
We know
Toby.
Toby. When it comes to past Spider
comic
Man,
book wise,
you know Toby and Tom Holland, and then the guy in between is Andrew. He's in the
Tobey
Facebook group.
Maguire, when he pops up,
No, Lord.
everybody.
right? That's not gonna happen.
You know, moving on Facebook, something wrong.
No, that's
Facebook movie.
Yeah,
The movie about Facebook.
yeah, it was actually good. But he
I was.
because
I had an
originally,
AMC card,
if the
everything.
movie with Jamie Foxx didn't flop, they were going to do the Sinister Six
Yeah.
and all that other stuff. But the movie flopped and people complained about it, so they
Because if a
canceled
nigga cough
the
too hard,
whole
we-
Spider-Verse thing that they were going to do, and then they rebooted it with Tom
So,
Holland, which he came with Sony and Disney teamed up, and they put him in
this one was really
Captain
good,
America:
though,
Civil
right?
War,
Honestly, it's one
and
of those things
it
that
turned out to be a
I wouldn't
really
even
great
mind seeing
thing.
because
Yeah.
it's so good.
This movie had great cameos from.
But
They had villains from all the Spider-Man movies you've watched
that
over
shit,
the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It had Doctor Strange.
and I was like,
It had Doctor Strange's sidekick Wong. It
and it was,
you know, it had some
it was
great
dope.
scenes.
Plot was
You know,
dope.
Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin in it.
A lot
They
of
actually
people
had the
understand
Sandman in
the
it,
concept
which they
of
never.
Spider-Man.
I didn't even see a commercial, so I didn't know the Sandman was there.
Yeah. They're not gonna be advertising at all.
They had, you know, Jamie Foxx as Electro. They had the Spider-Man 2 for a long time was one of the best comic book movies ever. They had the guy who played Doctor Octopus, and he was fucking brilliant in
He
that.
deals with loss.
He's brilliant in this.
Yeah.
But he deals with loss on
You know,
a
and
human
it was
he didn't become that.
shit.
Like the fact
Oh,
that
they even had the
Spider-Man
fucking
is
lizard
lost
from the first Amazing Spider, which
Uh-huh.
was actually so much hope.
Years later, he
And the
lost
second
his
Spider-Man
face.
happened.
And
They
those
didn't have
are
the Rhino in the mech suit, but even so, they even touched on
the things that he does.
that. There's a part where
One of the things that they wrote in the comic book,
they're naming what they did, and
even uses that
Toby Maguire's like, yeah, I fought an alien before. He talked about when he fought the Venom suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the villains.
Then Tom Holland's like, yeah, you know, I went to space and I done
Right.
and then poor Andrew is like,
Yeah, he ain't do none of
he's
that.
like, oh, the only thing I mostly did was I fought a guy in a Rhino mech suit,
Mhm.
and they're like, well, it's okay, it's special. But the fact that they touched on that, I thought was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought it was
They did
brilliant.
a
I
good
thought it
job
was
of
brilliant.
showing the dynamic of each one of them having
Yeah, the Marvel movies always find a way to
and
keep it light, even though they're dealing with some real
Tobey
shit.
Maguire actually pretty
And it has some
cool,
good comic relief moments in it. That's one of the things I love about Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. You know, some major stuff going on, but it's
the Amazing
always he always has a slick comment or something to say to
Always.
to
He's
catch
an
you off.
asshole.
Yeah, I
relate to
love,
him.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, I'd have said that too.
Yeah.
Just to lighten the moment, just so everybody's
He was
stressed
just,
out.
he was just like, yeah, take a picture. Like, I don't know, no gang
But that's
signs.
kind of what Tom Holland did too. Like, especially him and Iron Man when they put them together. It was like, and then matter of fact, him, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, their scenes together, the three of them, it's just like, are you kidding?
No,
Some of that shit's added.
Yeah, well, no, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, that's what he did.
So there was another thing that I thought I was kind of serious. Because, you know, when you're at home, you ain't got nothing to do, watch over. So I was watching Netflix. And it's a movie called, it's a documentary
but the movie flopped and people
called
complained about it, so
137
they
Shots.
canceled the whole Spider-Verse
Hold up.
and then they rebooted it.
What kind of shots?
Oh my God.
I mean, when y'all two involved, I gotta ask.
It's a series. It's a documentary.
Oh, okay.
It's a serious, not shots.
I'm
like
just
it's in Lecter.
look. We don't at the bar. I just had that.
So before this happened before Tamir Rice,
They had the villains from all this,
2012.
Spider-Man that you watched over the past 20 years. It had Doctor
A
Strange.
man was driving
It
his
had
homeless
Doctor Strange's
in his
sidekick
car.
Kong in it.
And basically,
It had some great scenes.
there's
Willing
an
to throw
undercover
Green
police
Goblins in it. They actually had
who's
the
known for beating up the
Sandman,
homeless.
which they never. I
He
didn't even
goes,
see. I didn't know the Sandman.
he's coming towards them. They get in the car. They leave.
They had
He illegally follows them
Electro. They had the
and
brilliant. The Spider-Man
stops
2 for a long time was one of the best comic book
and
movies ever. They had the guy who played
he didn't put on the tail light or turn it
Dr.
sick.
Octopus.
Turn it sick. And then
he's brilliant in this movie.
he illegally stops them.
You know,
They're scared as shit because this guy is known to beat up homeless.
Right.
oh, they even had the fucking
So,
lizard from
the girl
first
panics,
Spider, which was
The guy panics,
which was
and then
actually
he decides to let him
so
go.
much than the second
That's where it
Spider-Man.
started. He's driving his
They
old
didn't
car.
have the Rhino in the mech suit.
He's going by the
So
police
they
station,
even touched on
and the old car backfires.
that. There's a part
So then this other cop calls
Um,
it in as if they're
they're
shooting.
naming what they did, and
So then, literally, the whole I think it was like
when he fought the Venom suit.
14
Tom Holland's like,
or almost 60, at one point it was almost 60 something cops are following this car.
And then
To say-
poor Andrew is like,
they're shooting them.
he's like,
Some cops is like, yo,
mostly did was
this is some bullshit. And
put
they
a guy
stop.
in a Rhino mech suit.
So,
And they're like,
14 officers
"It's
were
okay,
involved in this.
especially
And
But the fact
only
that they
2, I
touched
think,
on
actually
that, I
went to
thought
jail.
was fucking brilliant.
Or were charged
I thought it was brilliant.
with manslaughter. So that the head, not the head, but the main person in this joint,
Yeah, he got off, right?
I believe he did.
Because he started.
He sits, he climbs, and the main the officer, the lead officer was a female, who said that she didn't do anything wrong.
I can relate to it though.
This guy got you. How many of you have ever seen an action movie where the guy jumps on the hood of the car and shoots into the car? He shot into the car, and then when they interviewed him, he said he felt that he was scared for his life.
Not you jumping on the hood with no gun, you man.
Yeah.
There are no weapons. No weapons are found in this car.
Yeah.
137 shots went into this car.
Yep.
Because, you know, when you're at home, you ain't got nothing to do, you watch a bunch of movies. So I was watching
Like
that.
that's something from the movies for real.
And it's a movie
That's
called-
didn't they do that to Cleo and set it off?
called 130.
Pretty much.
That's a movie. And Cleo did stuff wrong.
And then it also dives into the Tamir Rice situation. The Tamir Rice happened several months later. And
So before
that was just straight murder. I've never seen the footage up until
2000.
because I try to stop the watch, not to watch stuff like this. It just makes me angry. But literally, the cops just pull up and they shoot him.
And basically,
And their response is, "Well, you shouldn't have been playing with
go
a
into
toy gun in the playground.
he's
You
coming
should only
towards them
do
to
that
get
by
a
your
gun.
house.
They leave. He
You shouldn't have
illegally
been
follows
playing cops and robbers in
and
public.
stops them.
Uh,
You gotta remember that's an open
And
carry state also.
but here's
they
my
put on the
thing.
tail light or turning
If
signal.
he had a real
And
gun and he
then
was a different
um,
complexion,
he
they
illegally
would have
stops
done
them.
things to talk
They're
him.
scared as shit because this guy is known to
They
be
would
the
have
pony.
done things to diffuse the
So
situation.
the
You know, the
girls
fact they got a
panic,
call there was a
the
black
guy
male with a
panics,
gun at
and
the
then
park
he
Right.
decides
didn't
to let
help
him
the
go.
That's
situation.
not an
That gets
active
started.
shooter.
He's
That is
driving his own
someone
car.
that you're saying
He's going
has
by the
a
police
weapon.
station.
Not
He
an
put his car
active
back.
shooter. An active shooting
So
means
then
they're
this
literally
other
actively
cop calls
shooting.
it in as a
We
big shooting.
had
So
Kyle,
then,
who
literally,
was an
the
active
whole
shooter,
six, I think it was like
who not only was he not killed
14
by the police,
or almost 60, at
he
one
was
point it's
able
almost
to
60 something
kill
cops
others.
are following this car.
They dapped him up. They didn't they give him
Some
more
cops
than
was
Is
like,
that
like
the one that
yo,
with the Burger King that he took
this is
the
some
people in the
bullshit, and
churches?
they
no,
stopped
No,
him.
no.
that's
Cal
that's
is the one
Dylan
in
Roof.
Wisconsin.
14 officers
Okay.
were
Yeah, Dylan
involved,
Roof did at least get locked up. I think they were supposed to
and
kill that little motherfucker. I
only
think.
two, I think, actually went
So
to jail
Dylan,
Yeah.
or were charged with
but
manslaughter. So that
it's
the
it's
head,
really
not the head, but the main person in the joint,
I mean, like I said, I don't
I
get
believe it.
surprised, upset when
He
I
sits,
see crazy
he
stuff like that, especially with
climbs,
the Tamir Rice situation.
and
I
the
had
and the,
someone
and
try
the,
to
the main
explain out of the
the
situation that,
officer,
that's
the lead
why,
officer was a
yada yada.
female.
I'm like, dude,
Um,
it's an open carry
said that she didn't
state.
do anything wrong.
So how can you
This
say you
guy
have fear
got
for your life when
let
everyone
me
carries
let
a
me see
gun,
how
but
I
it's a
sent it to you,
10-year-old
where
with a toy
the
gun
guy
and you
jumps
feel
on
like
the
you
hood of the
have to
car
shoot him?
and shoots
I,
into the
because
car.
They
you
didn't even get
saw
out the
him with it.
car.
Into the car.
Because you
And then
saw
when they
him with
interviewed
yeah,
him, he said he
it's
felt that
it. Not
he
because he
was
shot
scared for
anybody.
his life.
I mean, we're a perceived threat from birth.
Yep.
When we come out the womb, we can kill or
There
rape
are no
any woman
weapons.
or
That's
whatever,
what they
yada
say.
yada
No
yada.
weapons are found
So I
in
mean,
this
it's
car.
a sad day and sad state that we're in.
137 shots went
But
into
I
this car.
mean, I don't know what the solution is. All we can do is continue to try to educate people
And
and get rid of the prejudices that they have,
pretty
because
much.
most of them have those thoughts and judgments based off of hearsay or
Mm-hmm.
And
secondhand
it
knowledge and never
also
even
ties
spoke
into
or
the
been
Tamir
around
Rice
someone
situation.
of
Tamir
color or
Rice happened
minority. They're just
several
basing
months
off of what
later.
somebody told them.
Right.
And
And we have to stop yelling and cussing and fussing and labeling everybody a
that would
racist
be
and
straight murder.
trying
I
to
had never
cancel
seen the
them
footage
because they
up
don't feel the
until
same way you do.
because I try to
Take the
stop
time
to
to
watch
sit
not to
there and
watch stuff like
ask
this because it
them,
makes me
why do you
angry.
feel this way?
But
What makes you
literally,
think
the
this
cops
way?
just pull up
And most
and
of the
they
time,
shoot
they
him.
don't have an answer because they don't know because they're just repeating what they've heard. And that's when you can
And
educate them. And that's
their
the only way you
response
can get rid
is,
of prejudice,
well,
racism,
you
and
shouldn't have been playing
stupidity
with a toy
is
gun
by
in the
sitting there talking to
playground.
them and trying
You
to
should only
educate
do
them. I
that by
have a
your
lot of
house.
right-wing
You
Republican
shouldn't have been
folks that I
playing
deal with that
cops and
call me,
robbers in
told me I
public.
was on welfare and I was mad because I had to go back to work and because Trump was in office and he's making America great again.
Mm.
And now, after insults and, talking about each other and having a conversation, we're good friends because we can agree to disagree and have a conversation and know that we have the same goal in mind. We just have different thought process of getting there. And that's all it is, a different thought process. There's no reason to hate nobody, no reason to not to talk to anybody, no reason to block anybody on social media. We're not all the same. We have different experiences, we have different perspectives. We've had different interactions with different people that gives us these prejudices that, we carry with us. But you can't base a whole group of people or race of people off of an interaction that you've had. It's asinine that you would even think that. It's the hypocrisy of the statement that you're upset because people treat you like you're all of a thug or this person
Remember
that person,
with
but
the
then you
Burger King
upset at
that they took
them
up people in
and
the
treat them
churches?
the same way. It just doesn't make sense to me, and people need to take a step back and realize that we're not all going to be in agreement on things. I don't understand where that came from. That we're all supposed to think alike and have the same thought process and love the same people and
There's some
hate the
crazy
same
people.
people. Yeah, I mean everybody might not accept what you're doing, but if they're not bashing you or trying to tell you how to live your life or putting hands on you, oh well, people are going to have different opinions. They're going to vary. You can't get upset because they don't think like you or feel the way you feel. That's their right. You don't have the right to say they're invalid or need to be canceled because they don't feel the same way you feel. We're not all built the same, man. So cut that shit out. That shit is irritating, man.
They didn't
You
even
want to
get out their
backhand
car.
motherfuckers off of that shit.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you had your rant and then you ended with a
Because
story.
it makes you want to. Because, like I said, the hypocrisy makes you want to smack somebody. Like you're counting. You're going against your own argument. You're saying you want to get treated equally and as an individual, but you're labeling a whole group of people off of the individual experiences that you've had.
Mm.
Duh.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand that. They just so engulfed in wanting to be right instead of do right and just want to talk the talk and want to be right. It ain't always about being right. Being right ain't got me shit but headaches. No bullshit. I wish I was wrong more. Because then people leave me the fuck alone.
Oh, here we go.
But when I'm right, you think you know everything. No, I just saw the bullshit coming. You didn't. I was trying to give you a heads up and now you mad at me because you didn't take it. That's not my fault. So start doing right and fuck being right, man. Being right ain't got nobody shit.
All right.
Except for on Jeopardy.
You know what?
I mean, for real, you win money on there for being right. In real life, you don't get shit but grief.
Crazy thing is, you went back live on Facebook.
Oh, that's nice. Aren't they sweet?
See, I kept it PG and they put us back on. See, I kept
Yes,
my, I
it's
kept
all
my,
because of
I kept my
CP3.
composure.
It's all because of you.
I'll take credit for that, not blame, because it ain't my fault.
You're wild.
Oh man, it's been a good show, man. It's been a good show.
It's been a while.
Man, messing with that tequila, man. Phew.
You behaved a little bit.
Yeah, that tequila,
It could have been
bro.
worse.
Oh, definitely. I had to calm down on the tequila. That shit was getting wild. Foots was about to come out. It was about to be
Oh,
a wild show. Foots come out. Y'all don't want that. We definitely getting taken off there.
But I definitely want people to check out
oh,
137 Shots.
yeah. So did you guys know that we had a whole serial killer?
Oh, yes. That's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry. So, down by, it used to be called the Harry Smiths. Now it's called the Harvest Moon Inn down Richmond Highway.
Oh boy.
It was a serial killer that was he went all through Virginia. But he was a shopping cart, so he was basically chopping up ladies and their body parts in the shop.
Yeah, he was disposing of them. But the problem is that he wasn't just in Virginia. They're trying to. They know of 4 bodies.
Oh, it's more?
Yeah, they think that it's more. They're trying to, connect them. And he lived in Virginia, of course, but also in Maryland and New York. So, one of the people, the 4 people that he killed, 3 of them have been identified. One of the 3 that were identified actually had a missing persons case out of DC. 2 were in Virginia. So I'm a little concerned. And the reason why I'm a little concerned is because of this. Number one, this gentleman was on dating apps meeting these women.
Yes.
And that's very popular right now. That's number one. Number two, why didn't we know about this until after he was caught? So 2 of the bodies, he got arrested because of 2 of the people. Same MO. I didn't hear anything about it. Then they found out about the other 2. And now they're looking into more. So his body count may go up, but why did it take you guys catching him before we knew about this?
Well, the sad part was when they first reported, he wasn't even caught yet.
When they first what?
When they first reported it,
Yeah, it was because they knew where he was. They were actually going to go get him.
okay.
They already knew who he was. Like, why didn't we know about this before? That was weird to me. And yeah, that was just weird. We have a whole series.
He went back live on
We
Facebook.
found out like after they knew who he was and was going to go pick him up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put a bulletin out on the news because then they're going to run when they know you're on the way to come get them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he is able to go and snatch up more people.
okay.
For the
So
greater good.
Tommy Hilfiger tried this.
It's been a while since.
Tommy Hilfiger said that he was the first designer to make street wear.
But
It depends on what you call. Like he was the first major designer. I would give him that.
but
He
I
was.
definitely want people to check out
Now,
137.
He was the first major designer, like major. Because remember, this was back in the '90s, early '90s. He even
Oh
had
yes,
Aaliyah
yes,
as a
yes.
brand
So you're
ambassador,
supposed to talk about.
and she would
Sorry.
wear the
So
Tommy, you know,
down by
the
it used to be called the
boxers, the
Harry
little
Smiths.
tube top, and
Now it's called
the
the
saggy
Harvest Moon
jeans and
Inn
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
down Richmond
That was
Highway.
his streetwear.
It
So
was a serial
he's the
killer
first major designer.
that
I
was
give him
putting
that.
he
I
went
don't know.
all
I
through
mean, it was
Virginia.
Dapper Dan.
He was a shopping cart salesman.
Dapper Dan didn't have his
Basically chopping up
own
ladies and
company
putting their
at that
putting
magnitude
their
at
body
that
parts
time.
in
He
shopping
didn't.
carts.
Dapper Dan, and Dapper Dan, even to this day, right
Oh,
now,
it's
Dapper
more.
Dan works for other people. Dapper Dan was more like a stylist in a sense, versus I'm making the clothes. Um,
Oh shit.
but he styled Dan styled a lot of people back in those days, but he was not at the magnitude of Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh no, I'm not. He was not. But I remember, being from New York, it was a big deal before.
Yeah, and he worked with a lot of artists and styled a lot of artists back then, but he wasn't. That's why I said when you look at the major
Yes.
brands, yeah, Tommy was the first.
So the James Brown estate, uh, sold. There's been a legal battle since James Brown has died for his estate.
Mm-hmm.
So they sold it to Primary Way Music for $90 million, which it's a good investment. That just means the legacy, because they couldn't get along, they were fighting for the music. That just means the generations after will not be able to have James Brown legacy. Royalties,
When they first
from
reported
music.
it,
They'll have money.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
okay.
you might start getting, James Brown music and stuff that he would probably never approve of. But, it's just sad that, and a lot of people have done this when when a person dies, you know, they, they sell the estate sells the rights to the music. But yeah, for $90 million. There's some things you just can't say. But I just feel like
Okay.
when you take
So,
away the legacy,
Tommy
some things are more
Hilfiger tried
important than
this.
that's
Right.
Tommy Hilfiger said that he was
Same thing.
the first designer to make street.
we talked about this when we got this. Two things. CP3's favorite internet troll. Oh, actually a couple, three things. So Freddie Gibbs is a rapper. And he's not the most popular. However, he got he's one signed to Jeezy. He's known to troll people on the internet. So one of the people he trolls frequently was Jim Jones. So you should never troll people if you're going to be in Miami. It's just a couple of cities you need to stay out of.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the guy you're trolling had a song called Dear Summer or something about that. Dear Miami or something. Where he was saying that Miami is like the second.
Mm-hmm.
So he got rolled up on by Jim Jones and crew at a steakhouse. And they proceeded to beat him and his bodyguard. So if you get beat up with your bodyguard, is your bodyguard fired because he didn't do the job?
I remember,
Honestly, you got beat up by Jim Jones. Like a lot of people.
You in the
Jersey
wheelchair, dog?
They don't take him. They don't take Jim Jones serious in his own hometown. So for you to get beat up by Jim Jones is kind of funny.
Yeah, he got the problem.
So the James
That's funny
Brown
to me.
a state.
Sometimes you gotta put hands on a motherfucker. They
You,
run their
So
mouth, man.
it's
You
been a
yeah,
legal
know?
battle for
yeah.
the since James Brown has died, which is
Sometimes you just got
So
to.
so they
yeah,
Jimmy
so
sold
Jones
it
put him
to
home.
Kwame
You only
Raymond
want a nigga too many times, man, till you
for
gotta show him it. You can tell him better, you can show him.
$90 million,
then the other crazy shit
which
is
it's a good bet.
CP3's favorite
That just means the legacy because
favorite
they couldn't get along and they were fighting
internet
for
troll
music.
Charleston White.
That just means
He said
the generations after
that
will not
the
be in
rapper who
comparison.
died, Slim 400, he said he don't feel no remorse because he's a gangbanger. He said he's not a man who's a gangbanger. He just died. He got killed.
Now
And he said it's a lot of ignorant
you
things
might
like
start
that.
getting
Either way, before he's a gangbanger, he's
you know
somebody's son.
James Brown music
There you
and
go.
stuff that he would find them.
And if he had children, he's
It's
somebody's
still
father.
loss of life.
But you know it's just sad that
And it wasn't like he got
and a
killed
lot of
because he
people
was
have to do this when
gangbanging.
they
He was out
one
there
person dies.
gangbanging and it was a gangbanging shootout. He was,
They sell the
he was
estate
shot,
the rights
you
to
know,
the music.
actually coming back to his hood, doing stuff.
But
You know, and of course, we had also made comments about Nipsey Hussle.
there's some things you just
Who, you know, Nipsey was a gangbanger, but at the same time, Nipsey was
I just felt
Doing
like
for his community.
when you take away the legacy,
And he was trying to
some things
bring
are more important than money.
the gangs together to form some type of unity and create peace in the hood.
exactly.
So you can say what you want,
We talked
but
about this and before we wrap this up.
yeah, he was still trying to do something positive.
And I just,
CP3's
you know,
favorite
it's sad
is-
because when we make
oh,
comments
okay,
like this, because he thinks he makes these comments
So Freddie
and
Gibbs
he sounds tough or he sounds,
is a
you
rapper.
know, educated. He sounds very ignorant.
And
Because at the end of the day,
he's not the most
anyone who
popular
knows
rapper.
anything about gang life,
However,
you're in it for life.
he got
You're going to be affiliated with
he
that
once signed
gang
to Jeezy.
for
He's
life
known to troll people on
in
the
some way,
internet.
shape, or form,
So one
especially
of
in
the
the eyes
people
of the
he
media.
trolls frequently
So
is Jim Jones.
if you're no longer affiliated with
So
that gang, they're still going to say,
you should
former
never troll
gang
people
member,
if you're going to be in Miami.
they're still going to
This
say
is
that. They're
couple
still going to label you
state
that.
cops,
And
especially the guy
are we
who
saying that
trolled
nobody
me
can
had a song
change?
called
Is that what we're saying? Because
he
that's
had
what it
some
sounds like you're
something about
saying.
that.
Nobody
Me and
can
Miami or
change.
something.
What if you're a
He was
gang
saying that
member?
Miami is like his second home.
That doesn't mean that you can't do
So
anything good. That's
he
what
got
I'm
rolled
hearing.
up on by
Oh
Jim Jones
boy,
and
oh
crew
boy. Where should I start?
at a
He about to
steakhouse,
go on a rant. He about to go.
and they proceeded to beat him and his
This
bodyguard up. So if you get
gentleman
beat up with your bodyguard, is your
Listen.
bodyguard fired?
that
'Cause he-
continues to put this spin out there because of his background, upbringing, or whatever. You know, it's hilarious where 151 broke down his
Yeah, he got
rise to social media fame, so to speak. And it's interesting how folks will pander and
yeah. So he
say things that they know will rub some people the wrong way, but will get applauded by another group of people that will
crazy shit is
back them and put them on a pedestal for speaking the so-called truth about
favorite.
his point of view on some black issues. I'm not going to get ignorant. I want to, but I'm not,
I'm so proud of you.
The rapper
because that'll
died,
feed into his narrative.
that he don't feel
But
no remorse for because he's a gangbanger.
I'm going to tag this
Kind of man, he was a gangbanger.
gentleman.
And he got killed. And he's
Once I
still
get
out
his
there.
names, I don't know. He's not even worth knowing his whole
Either
name.
way, before he was a gangbanger,
Yeah, it sound like a never mind. But
if he had children,
yeah.
somebody's father.
And I would love to have him
And it
call
wasn't like he
in,
got
zoom
killed
in,
because he was gangbanging.
or
He was
even
out there
come in,
gangbanging, and it
and we
wasn't
have
like
a
a shootout.
face-to-face debate
He was
about some
shot,
of the stuff that he says, because
actually coming
I
back
will
to the hood,
enjoy
doing stuff.
shutting him down in
And of course,
any
he made
aspect
also
of his
made comments about
conversation,
Nipsey
because
Hussle.
it's all bullshit.
Secret love.
And because
But at the same time,
it kills me how folks will say certain stuff that they can regurgitate or they've read that had some factual statement when you put it in a context. And then they take out of context and try to use it for their own purposes, which is cool. I understand that. But when I call you on your bullshit and give the whole story and you're standing there looking stupid, that's my pleasure.
tough or he
because there's nothing you can do but just realize that you're a piece of shit.
Sounds like ignorance.
He got checked by two OG from two OG Crips that like 60s. The guy that walked out the interview.
Mm.
Not checked by OG.
They would put hands on a nigga.
Them niggas like them shot me.
Yeah, they would put hands on a nigga,
You
interview
know,
or not.
like, you're not gonna disrespect Nick like that because Nick was doing a lot for the community and stuff. And he got up and walked out the interview.
That's probably for the best.
And then when he came back, he was like, well, no one was gonna touch me, and this, and
Okay.
I had my gun on my hip and all this other stuff.
You gotta reach for it first, sucker. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, first of all, you start off calling him old man, so if you ain't no kid,
why you got to talk about your gun?
As I said, I would love to have him in studio.
He gonna have to have his gun on his hip again.
I had mine too. Fuck it, we can do a duel. Fuck it. I went to the range a couple of weeks ago. I'm just saying, when you poke the bear and pander to a certain audience, you have to expect blowback from the folks you're talking about. And if you're not built to handle that, even if it's just a civil conversation, don't do that shit. Because you're gonna come across the right motherfucker that ain't gonna be trying to, talk to you not with words, but with his hands. And you can go get your gun and put it on your hip, but you gotta get to it first. Some folks walk around with theirs all the time.
You're not gonna get everybody.
Just the point is that you gotta go get yours. These folks that you're talking about already have theirs. So you can go try to get it.
Well, he said it was on his hip.
Yeah, after the fact. After he left and came back. Yeah, he went and got it. That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No, I think he had it on the podcast.
No, but I mean, you still a punk because you left the interview. If you was that nigga, you would have sat there with the pistol on your hip. So now you a punk pussy motherfucker. Yeah, so I mean, that just shows the character and what you really are. If you was that dude, you sitting there with two so-called 60-year-old G's, you calling old men, for the fact that you have to have a pistol shows that they're not that man, they're not that old because you were afraid of them beating your ass, and you had to leave the interview because you had some type of fear. So all I can say is, man, I would love to have access to this dude, because once I go viral, I'm gonna shut his shit down, and I'm gonna take all his followers and take his girl, because he probably got a white girl.
You know what?
He do. I know he do. I know he do. I'm gonna take it right in front of him.
Maybe he got it.
You're just so personal with it. I want to take it right in front.
I told you, I want to be like Kung Lao. I want to take your soul. I took your soul.
Really?
Yes.
You got anger issues.
No, I want people to know once you cross me, don't do it again, because it's not going to be pretty. So once they do, and I show them what I'm capable of, they leave me the fuck alone. They take kindness for weakness. I'm trying to be a better man and not show that side. I had to show that side at work a little bit this past week. I didn't want to, but I was in the middle of a sale. I'm at the bringing a vehicle around for the customer, and I stop at the stop sign. There's a three-way stop sign. There's another car coming forward. He had a stop sign also. So I proceed to make a turn. This son of a bitch doesn't even stop and decides to roll through the stop sign. So I made it through the path without getting hit. I go park the vehicle and get ready to show it to the customer. This motherfucker decides to sit there at the stop sign, roll his window and start talking shit. Talking about, you almost hit me. And there was a couple of salesmen outside. And I looked at him like, dude, you ran the fucking stop sign. I stopped. No, you didn't. So the nigger in me came out a little bit. I said, you get out the car, I will beat the fuck out of you right now. I'm in the middle of a sale. You ran the motherfucking stop sign. I didn't. What you want to do? He took his heavy ass down the road. One of my sisters like, my friend, I've never seen you upset like that. I was like, yeah, I don't like it.
Was
Yeah.
that the manager?
No. This is one of the guys that shares a cubicle with me. He was like, my friend, he's from Turkey. My friend, I've never seen you upset like that before. Is everything okay? I said, no, nigga, I got 2 sales and it's on the motherfucking 15th. I'm about to have the fucking nigga up in the parking lot. I'm trying to make a sale here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just life is hilarious, right? That's why I'm drinking tequila like this right
Oh
now.
my God.
So yeah, next week gonna be a great week though. So that's all I got to say.
It's about to
Devin,
be
next week is
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fa la 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 la
Yeah.
la la.
Y'all got y'all big bows?
I got
No,
my
I think
jingle
he has
bells
one
too.
I'm
more
talking
coming.
about at your job.
Oh yeah, yeah, we got some on the vehicle. Oh, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about the big bow you put on the car.
Yeah, I never
Uh-huh.
understood that though. How are
Because
you
you
going?
put a bow on the car as a gift, like you wrap a
Yeah,
present.
but how are you going to give a gift like, "Hey, I got a new bill for you. Here you go."
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, but it's a bill, no matter
It
what
de-
you look
it
at.
depends on the situation. What if it's a parent that got it for their kid and they
I'm
don't have
speaking
a
of
kid?
husband and wife. Like, yeah, yeah, hey, honey, I got a new bill for you to take care of. Here you go. Like, no, discuss that shit first. The car's all right,
They
baby.
might have discussed it. Sometimes they do discuss
Well,
it,
don't get me wrong. I'm not upset when they
and they're
come
in the
buy a car for the
market.
spouse. That's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
But that's the last thing I want you to come on and say, Merry Christmas. Hey, here's a new bill for you. Oh, yeah, and that insurance on that son bitch, too.
Hmm.
And no, that ain't no real shit right there. That's some commercial shit.
Well, I have a couple things I want to share.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
So first of all, I came across this story that
What
I found really
you're just
funny.
so
The
personal
two
with it.
people
I want to
involved
take it right in front. Like,
are deceased. I shared it on my social media, so um,
you
I'll
got
send it to
engaged.
you guys. I'm gonna share it on my public page too. But it was an interview that Michael Jackson did, and there's footage of him chatting with Princess Diana, and they asked him, what were you guys talking about? He was going to perform in front of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. So he told us, in the interview, what they were talking about. So she came up to him, greeted him, and she said, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something." And he said, "Yeah, what's up?" And you can like see the footage, like you can see like their mouths, so that's what he
Mike
said.
was an OG.
Oh yeah, he was. So then he says that, he was like, "What's up?" And she said, "Well, are you going to perform Dirty Diana?"
Oh, boy.
And he said, "No, I'm not going to do it out of respect for you." And she said, "What? That's my favorite song."
Diana was a freak.
Uh-huh. And so then he said, "What? Are you kidding? That's crazy. I already took it out of the set. It's too late to put it back in. I did it out of respect for you." And she was like, "Oh man." Prince Charles comes over. Right? He's like, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" Diana says, "Oh, nothing," and walks off. Like,
Charles always
yo.
wondered why she got freaky during that song. She was thinking about Michael.
Right.
She wanted some of that hee hee.
But for her her favorite song was Dirty Diana. Like, oh boy.
I got a feeling.
Hmm.
She
So.
played that one night. Charles was like, "Well, I ain't never had nothing that good in my life."
Devin,
What y'all talk about over here?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if 151 would be a doll and those books over, but I wanted to talk about Black entrepreneurship and our power. Okay. So for the Black nerds out here in the streets, for the Black nerds out here in the streets, there is a company, okay, that came out a while ago called Black Sands, and Black Sands um Entertainment, I believe, they came out with comics, right? So it gained recognition from pretty much all the Black nerds out here, which has a very strong community at this point, and led by a Black man, mind you.
go ahead.
Um, but let me see, I can't remember his name offhand. Do you remember his name? But I'm looking it up right now. But this gentleman, um, Manuel Godoy, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Manuel, black man, has created all these comics, all these characters, it's taking place in ancient Egypt. They're depicting and telling these stories of ancient Egypt as it should be. Because let's be real, Egypt is where?
In Africa.
Africa.
Okay. And people in Africa have melanin,
Oh shit.
you know? So, despite what you want to believe, people in Africa
I
have
look like
melanin.
Elizabeth Taylor.
They do not look like Elizabeth Taylor. These kings and queens that we've heard of, these mystic stories that we've heard of, these magical or spiritual, however you choose to look at it, all took place in an area of people with melanin. So these stories are told, and the images that we see are a little more accurate than what we have been seeing.
Okay.
So they have items that you can purchase. The DVD, the animated DVD on the story. They're the This is called Black Sands, the Seven Kingdoms. There are young children who are heirs to, various thrones. And, there was, a belief that certain pharaohs and their families had powers.
Yeah.
So it touches on that. And then they have quite a few different stories within books. But right now, what he's trying to do is do the first black anime style 3D. I believe last images that I saw was 3D. But he's trying to create these anime, uh, um, like a show or a movie or something, and it's really monumental because he doesn't have backing from any of these, major companies or anything like that.
Which he shouldn't, because
Because they're gonna try to change it.
well, what they're gonna do is in 93, I graduated Milestone Comics, which gave us Static Shock, or Static as he was called in the cartoon section.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Rocket, the Blood Syndicate, Hardware. They had their own little universe. So what DC did was, when when Milestone started getting popular, DC bought Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Then, really, to stop him from writing all these great stories that they had,
Yeah.
they was like, oh, we're gonna give Static, we're gonna give you, you're gonna do a cartoon, and it was for Static Shock.
Yep.
But he had never written a cartoon.
Right.
So then he wrote for Static Shock, but then he also wrote for Batman Beyond, and he also wrote for the Justice League,
Yep.
and then his character got incorporated into the DC universe, and then not used. Icon, who has a great story, who's just as powerful as Superman, that
They never.
never really talk about. So now they actually brought back Milestone 20 years later. But yeah, he really should keep his property, because they'll look at it as a threat and buy it out and then do nothing with it.
Right. And he's relying on the community, which the community has been extremely supportive. Um, and they're making moves. They've been making moves. I've been following this storyline. I've been following this company. I've been following the product that he's been putting out for quite some time. And when we're talking about Black entrepreneurship, when we're talking about supporting our own, that is a prime example. If you look into it, it's a prime example of us supporting our own so that they can make it to the next level. Because he has an app. He has, like I said, he has the books, the comics. hardback books, he has the animation, and now he's trying to move on to other steps. And along the way, he's received the support of the community. And so we know what anime is. We're very well aware that anime, where it originated, it was not it's not from this country, so therefore black representation is not going to be, you know. However, there are so many black people who support that culture that
Michael Jackson even was funny. Appear.
we really should have some
Which
type
he
of
should, because
representation, a
in
greater um,
well, what they're gonna
amount,
do is
because they do have some animes
in
that have black characters in it. I will say that, but
1993, I graduated from Milestone
anime is
College.
not necessarily
Gave
my
us
thing. My
Static
daughter
Shock,
and my
well,
son
Static
are
Shock
more
was called
into
then,
anime than I am, but I'm
Icon,
aware.
Rocket, the Blood
And
Syndicate,
I'm going to support.
Hardware. They had their own little
So,
universe.
um,
So what
just
DC
like
did
with,
was
you know,
when they
another
started getting when
venture
Milestone
that
started getting popular,
someone,
DC bought
has.
Milestone.
If I'm able to support,
Then
I will. So
really
I just wanted to
to
put that out there that,
stop them from writing
you
all these
never
great
know
stories that they had, they was like,
what
oh,
your
we're gonna give
support can
Static,
do.
we're gonna give you,
Yeah.
you're gonna do a
Because
cartoon,
if this gentleman
and it was for Static Shock,
takes
but he had never written a
his
cartoon.
black anime
So then he
that
wrote
he
for
wants to
Static Shock,
make
but then he also
and
wrote for
it blows up,
Batman Beyond.
I
Then
can
he
say,
also wrote
hey, I
for
was down with
Justice
you from the
League,
beginning.
and then his characters got
I've
incorporated into the
supported
DC universe,
him in
and
his
they're not
cause
used.
from the
Icon,
beginning.
who has a great
I
story, who's
assisted
just as
in
powerful as Superman,
helping
um,
him.
that
And
you know
there are many others
never really
like
talked
me.
about.
That's why he
So
would
now
be
they actually have
able
brought
to
back
get to that
Milestone
level. So
20
that's
years
why
later.
it's very important. The
But
black dollar is way more
yeah,
important than what they lead
The
to
Black
believe.
Dollar is the most powerful
property
thing on
because
earth.
they'll look at it as a threat
It's
and
this little movie that
buy
came
it
out
out and then
several
do
years
nothing with it.
ago. Um, it was not the most popular character from the comic book, and it was a black guy, and it's called Black Panther, and they made $1 billion. I've been reading that comic book for years before y'all even knew. Half the people, majority of the people who went to go see the movie didn't even know
Never
who
knew. Never
the
knew.
Black Panther
There were
was.
some people who thought that the movie was about the Black Panther movement,
So,
which I remember reading about because Storm was my favorite X-Men for like the majority of my life. So of course there's a connection with Storm and T'Challa, the Black Panther, and he was depicted in shows back in the day. You would not often, he didn't have his own show, but you would see the Black Panther come up in the comics or some depiction or storyline of something.
well, he, the first time I really read a Black Panther comic book, it was like a 14
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, in the 25-cent biz, they had like old Black Panther comics.
Yeah.
So, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then, a guy named Christopher Peace in the early 2000s wrote these great stories
About the Black Panther.
about the Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like he was a Superman.
Michael Jackson used it.
He was a king, and that's what the difference was.
Yep.
And that's what it is. The Black Panther's not stupid,
And he was there to protect his kingdom.
and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he even got the Black Panther to admit the reason why he joined the Avengers to because he needed to assess them as were they a threat to his kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And they were blown by it. But he was like, oh shit, I'm a king.
Sorry, I can do what I want.
You know what? What the fuck you want to
You
do?
want to tell me? No.
I'm richer than Iron Man, and I'm smart.
Yeah.
What? And it was just some great storytelling, and I was like, yo, this is a black character written very well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not stereotypical. You know, he spoke with a royalty. He commanded. You know, this is a dude who, fight president, which is the greatest Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
When you done right. So the power of the black dollar could move a lot because, when you think of all these other characters and who movies didn't reach 1 billion,
Yeah.
it's because of the black dollar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the thing. There wasn't just a black dollar here in the U.S. This was a global.
Yeah, global.
that's a factor. So I wish him well. Um,
I definitely want to support that. I think that's dope. The comic book collector, I always want to see.
The
I
Black
believe,
Dog is the most
you know,
powerful
the
thing.
lack of diversity in comic books is always
It's this little movie that came out
shameful
this year.
because you have four black characters that are really cool,
mhm.
Character from the comic
and
book, and it was a black
And which is
guy,
like the fact
black
that I
man
said
that they made him
Storm was
$1 million.
my favorite X Men,
I've been reading
and
that comic book
she
for years.
had romantic
So
ties
y'all
to
even know
T'Challa
half the people, majority of the people you went to go see the movie with,
because
know who the hell
why
Black
else would
Panther
you
was.
have two superheroes? That's kind of like
well,
what that thought
well,
process
even the
was.
craziest thing is that
So, um,
when the X-Men cartoon, which I believe came out in the 90s,
Hmm.
uh, in the comic books, Storm was leading to such
Hmm.
and the fact that they made it Cyclops always bothered me because they never showed Storm as the leader. Like through a lot of the great storylines, even that they even incorporated into the show, it was Storm that was
Yeah.
in the comics.
Yeah.
It wasn't the white guy with that was blind with red beans and
Hmm.
shit.
Yeah,
well,
he
he
was.
had
And in Storm,
the first time I really
when
read
she's
a
pretty
Black
well,
Panther
and Chris
comic
Claremont did a very good job of writing
was
her. When
unfortunately
she's
Age
doing
of
pretty well in her
I thought it was
in
dope.
Africa,
And then,
Storm was considered the
like in the
goddess.
25-cent
Hmm.
bins, they had like
Yeah.
old Black Panther
And she
comics
wasn't
that they
looked
didn't
at
sell
as an
anymore.
ET or an ET
Right.
or
Right.
any leader.
And
She
then
was she was actually
a guy
praised.
named
Yeah.
Christopher Peace in the early
So
2000s
it's done right.
wrote a piece of
It shows
great
the power,
stories
and
about the
anything
Black
that can
Panther,
show. We
and
hear enough about
it wasn't like he was a
Hercules and
superhero.
Zeus, and we don't really
He
hear
was a king,
too much
and that's
about
what the
Ra or
difference was.
Horus.
And that's what it is. The Black
Well,
Panther's not a
Ra.
superhero.
you
He's a
hear
king, and that's
about
what it
him,
is.
but
And
that's
he
it.
even
They don't go
got
in
Black
depth.
Panther to admit the reason why he
And
joined the Avengers
that's not, we never
was because
hear
he used to
about the
assess them
Orishas,
as were they a threat
which
to his
is a
kingdom.
whole nother
And
ballgame.
they were blown by it, but he was like, no,
Orishas are the African gods and
I
goddesses.
can do what I want. What the
Um,
fuck you gonna do? I'm
uh,
richer than Iron Man, and I'm
Sometimes we
smarter.
hear about Oshun, but
What?
to be very honest with you, the first time I ever
And it was
heard
just some
the
great
name
storytelling, and
Oshun
I was like,
was
yo,
in Love
this
Jones.
is a black character
Remember that
written
movie Love Jones?
very
In
well
the little
and not
poem
and not
that
stereotypical. He
he
spoke
said,
with a
"Hey baby, can I be
humanity.
your slave?"
This is a dude who
I believe he mentioned Oshun in that.
fighting presidents was this his greatest Captain America.
You don't
Everybody
hear,
watch
So
Love Jones.
so the power of the black dollar could
but
move a
we
lot
don't hear
because
about this. But we do hear about Zeus,
when you
and
think of all
but
these
they don't
other
even talk
characters
about the
and
like. I don't understand. Me and
it
my
makes
daughter
you
were
want to
just
build
talking
it.
about the Greek
It's
gods
fucking
and
dope show.
goddesses. They were a hot mess.
Well, if you really look at it, I remember reading this in the encyclopedia back in the day. The first, the first civilization was an
I
African,
definitely want to support that.
and a
I
lot
think that's dope.
of,
As a comic book collector,
if you really explore the similarities, a lot of the
I
Greek
really,
goddesses
the lack of
were ripped
diversity
off.
in
Mhm.
comic books was
Yeah.
always
Just ripped off copies of Egyptian goddesses.
Yeah, it's the
you
same
have four
storyline,
black
different
characters.
names.
You know,
However, the
And
Greek gods and goddesses, like Zeus was eating his kids, he was smashing off everybody, animals, humans, other gods. He had a wife, but he cheated on her with everybody under the sun. It's like really bad. Right. The uh Zeus,
well,
his
well, the crazy
father
thing is that
tried to kill him and his brother, and I think they had to kill him.
yeah.
It's just
when the
a
X-Men
hot
cartoon,
mess.
which
It's a bunch of
came out in
dysfunction.
the 90s,
And these were gods. They were worshipped. So I don't
comic books
I don't
was
understand.
leading the X-Men
But
because of Cyclops.
at the end of the day,
And the fact that they made it
I feel
Cyclops
like
always
it's
bothered me
important for
because
us to
they never
provide
showed Storm
the younger
as the
generations
leader. Like through a lot of the great
the
storylines,
opportunity to
even that they
read
even incorporated
stories
into the show,
about
it was
things that
Storm
they
that
can
was the
identify with.
gangster in the
I
comics.
think that for
It
us,
wasn't the white guy with
we had to search for
that was
that
blind with
later
red
on
beans
in
and
life.
shit.
Man,
And in Storm,
Imagine if
when
we
she's
were
pretty
given
well,
this
Chris Claremont
information
did a
as
very good
children.
job of writing her.
And
When she's
imagine
pretty
if we
well in
didn't
her
see
in Africa,
Elizabeth Taylor as the
Storm is
first
considered the goddess
representation of a
and she
Egyptian
wasn't looked at as a
so
queen.
Cleopatra.
Right.
she was actually right.
Nefertiti was
So it's done right.
depicted the first time I saw
It shows
an
the power.
image of Nefertiti.
And
She
anything that
was
can
much.
show,
She was
we
really
hear
pale,
enough about
and I
Hercules
feel like
and
had
we hear
I been given that
Ra,
information
Horus,
up front,
Amen Ra.
you never know. But I mean, that was, of course, by design. We know this. We know that the history was whitewashed. We know why it was whitewashed. We know all of that. But now that we have that knowledge, we're supposed to give that to future generations,
Yeah.
because the disconnect that we had, unfortunately, way back when these people were ripped from their homes, um, chiefs and leaders of their tribes, doctors and carpenters, and not everybody was royalty, let's be real about it. But these people were ripped from their homes, brought here to this country. The goal was to erase their history. And at some point in time, internally as a community, we need to try to bring that back as best as we can. So that
Well,
information is
if you really look at it,
important to spread to our youth.
I remember reading some
Um,
encyclopedia back
I
in the day.
appreciate
The
Black
first,
fans because,
the
of
first
course, it's
civilization
fictional, but
was in Africa and in Egypt,
they're telling
and
these
a
stories,
lot of,
and they're
if you
giving
really
us these
explore the
images of what they
similarities, a
should
lot
be.
of the Greek
You know,
goddesses were ripped off.
a little more accurate.
Ripped off copies of
I
Egyptian
can believe
goddesses.
young kids, black
You
kids,
know,
running around Egypt, heirs to throne, getting into some mischief, versus these very pale young children running around Egypt.
Well, one thing for you know, here is I'm glad when the Black Adam movie comes out that they got the Rock playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because growing up, Black Adam
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
was a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently in the comic books, they finally drew him. And then when I about the early 2000s, when they drew him this time, uh, they drew him of a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
He was more Egyptian, so he wasn't necessarily a maroon. That
Right.
he was a person of color, which
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, Hawkman and Hawkgirl are also Egyptian, by the way, so they're not really white people. Get on your job, DC Comics.
Mm-hmm.
The need is not to fix.
It's a lot of inaccuracies out there, and
It's just white culture.
yeah, and but once we have this information, like I said, it's
Oh,
important to
Cleopatra?
pass that on to our youth
Yeah.
so that they won't have to search to the ends of the earth to get the truth. Like we had to, and others before us had to. Um, we give them the knowledge that we have and encourage them to seek further knowledge. That's what we're supposed to do as a community. But, yeah.
Truly, truly.
CP3 moving his head and stuff. What you got to say?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm over here watching this Capitals game. They're down 3-2 in the third to the Kings at home with under 5 minutes left. They just gave up a crazy goal on a crazy bounce that went past Vanacek, and now they're trying to tie the game to force overtime or get two goals in the last 5 minutes to win the game in regulation. So, yeah, I was listening to what you were saying and watching some hockey. I'm sorry.
I thought you were texting the script.
Oh, God.
I already texted, already went out. I'm waiting for the response.
Oh, my God. But what do you have to say about this
I mean,
depicting our historical figures? Um,
I don't see anything wrong with it. That's, always good to have education on your past. I just, I'm not really. I understand the whole, whitewashing of history and everything, but I'm just to the point now where we have to start looking forward. I understand, knowing your past and knowing where you came from can, help you go in the future and present in the future. But I'm just tired of all the separating, black history, white history, black power, white power, whatever. I'm just tired of the arguing, the division, and all. I just want all of us to be able to live together, and it don't matter what color you are. This is fucking It's just a skin color. We're all the same underneath. We all got the same organs. We all got the same blood running through our veins. We're just different people on the, from our personality. I just
Well,
wish people could realize
one
that
thing
shit,
for
and it wouldn't even
sure
make a
is I'm
difference what
glad
color
that
someone was or what history it was,
the
because
Black Adam movie was out
you
there.
wouldn't give a
It
fuck.
got some
And
love for
that's
it.
what I really feel about it.
Because
Well,
growing up
don't you
Black
feel
Adam,
like
Oh shit.
the lack of people feeling
and then
that way in the
recently in the comic
past has
books they
given
finally
us
proved him. And then
inaccurate
when I
information,
about in the early
and
2000s
it had a
when they
purpose behind it, you
Yeah,
know.
I
debuted
mean, this, like I say, I've studied this
they
country
proved
for a
him
while. That's why I say nothing shocks me. I had these conversations with
well
folks
first
all
of
the
all
time about the spin that the government, the
well
media puts
Egyptians
on it to
wasn't
make the
necessarily
us
of
or
a
the
race,
government look like the
but
victim, and
was
oh,
a
we're
different
doing this to
color race.
protect you. When all the
By the
time
way,
there's
Hawkman the Hawk
underlying
Girl are
things that's
also
going on that
indigenous.
they don't tell us about, that
They're
they
not really white people.
already put in place, and it's just a
Let me
reaction
get
to
y'all
what
easy
they
numbers.
did, and they want to
Yeah,
play
about
victim. So it's, to me, like I say, I've studied it. That's the one thing that pisses me off, that folks don't study the history of this country. Don't
Mm-hmm.
study the history of anything that they
Mm-hmm.
so-called love or are behind. Because once you really look at the history of things, you'll realize it's not as great as it seemed to be. It's not as good as everybody portrayed it to be. It wasn't always right. It was some fucked up shit that was going on. There was some good shit that was going on. And you're gonna have people that applauded and wrote good things about it. You have people that didn't like it and write bad things about it. But
yeah.
you really can't do nothing about what happened. All we can do is what about going forward. So I mean, knowing our past, knowing our history is a great thing, especially in the education process for the youth, to let them know it's you know bigger and better ways to get out of this situation than playing basketball or rapping. So I
Mm-hmm.
get that, but we have to start looking forward and looking towards down the road, and what are we going to do to better our situation. We know what the issue is. We know. We know they're not going to acknowledge it. We know things aren't going to change. So what can you do? Adapt to the fucking situation, take over the fucking game. You know the rules of the game. You know how things work. So use it to your advantage. That's why I always say I'm playing chess and you playing checkers, because you're just going to sit there and complain about the system instead of learning about it and find a way to make it work for you. It isn't always about skin color. It's about knowledge and wanting to do it. It's not about, I always say it's about people want to live the NBA or the NFL lifestyle but don't want to put the work in. If you want to be great, it's going to take work. If it was easy to be great, everybody would be great. So if you want it, you got to go get it. It's out there for you. You just got to find it. Like I said, that's one of my biggest issues. I have the want, I have the drive. I just haven't had the follow through, which I'm still at the age of 44, still trying to seam that up. So you just got to keep plugging away at it, and know, if you know the system and know what the pitfalls are, and know it's not a level playing field or not even, then use that shit to your advantage. Underestimation was my best weapon. They think you ignorant. They think you stupid. Oh, he had cornrows, pants hanging off his ass. He got a big truck with rims on it with a system in it making all that noise. Oh, he don't know shit. He ignorant. 15 bosses thought that. 15 bosses went on the unemployment line because of me. Because they underestimated what I knew. Use that shit to your advantage, man. They think you one way. Let them think that. You ain't gotta always, bark and be yelling and be loud. Oh no, you ain't gonna disrespect me. This is who I am. You ain't gotta do that. Real G's move in silence, dog. Make your moves. Plot. Calculate. Now I ain't saying to hurt nobody. I'm saying to make yourself better. I know I had to put that disclaimer.
Well, who are you talking to though?
Talking to anybody that's listening.
Okay, the reason why I was saying it is because you took the whole topic and went somewhere else, and
Because
I let you go. I
yeah,
was
cause
like,
you
what were
you
you
went to
talking?
you went to your way. I want to go
No, we
mine.
was literally talking about people teaching kids
Yeah.
the truth about their history
Mm-hmm.
and how we can expound on that.
You got to
And
find the
then you
truth in yourself
then
also.
somehow you went into
Yeah,
something
because you got to find
else.
the truth in yourself. Like, education is cool, no, but it's about what's instilled in you. You got to
Well,
want
that's
to be.
part of it. That's
Yeah,
part of it.
it's definitely a part of it.
Because I'm talking about teaching these little kids. Because, like I said, if you tell a little kid, oh no, your bloodline, people that look like you were once kings and queens. But this happened, this happened, this happened. That knowing who they are, that's how they broke down the African people that they brought over here, is to not believing in themselves, not understanding who they are. It was an internal thing.
And it's
So
worked.
when we and the way to get out of that is to undo what was done. You don't have we don't have to let anybody else know outside of the community what we're doing
But
to
they have to,
improve.
but they have to want to do that.
Right, but
Most of them don't want that.
if we starting with the kids, we tell the kids
Yeah, you tell
this
the
is
kids,
what you
but they
as
still had the people that's at home. I'm not even gonna call them parents. The people that's at home that's going to what? Like you, I don't know who. I don't know if it was talking to you or someone else, but a teacher had educated them or said something in a different way that they had, and the parent got upset because they felt like they were disrespecting the parent because the parent had never heard anything like
we
that.
were talking about that. That was
Yeah,
the guest last week.
yeah. So I mean, that's the mentality now. Back in the day, it used to be, you cut up in the street. If your parents ain't see your neighbor bust your ass, he told your parents, and your parents bust your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's don't put your hands on my kid. I raised my kid, yada 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 yada. Even though you know your kid is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can teach the kids and instill it in them, but when the people at home don't have those same values and don't reiterate those things and don't reverse those things when they get home, where they spent the most of their day,
Well,
it's
I'm talking to the parents that are listening, that are able and willing to instill these things in their kids. You talking about somebody that I ain't even talking to.
but you got to talk to them. You
I
can't
know,
just you
but
can't just talk to
I
the
wasn't
one.
using this time for that.
But you got to. You
No,
have
me
to.
personally, I
Yeah.
was using it to. Here's the thing: if you focus too much on the people who don't do, then you can miss the messages you need to give for the people who will do.
But the people that will do are going to see that message regardless if you point it out to them or not, because they want to know. The
Well,
folks that
you
don't
give
want
them
to know are the ones
information.
you have to get that light and turn that switch on to make them say, "Oh yeah, maybe there is a better way for me to do this instead of going through the cycle of bullshit I've seen through generations of my family." Some folks you have to take that extra time on.
Right,
Some
but
folks you have to.
this came up because of these books that I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I
The
can dig
people
it.
that you talking about ain't gonna hear nothing about that. But the people that I'm talking about,
But we can't forget about them. That's all I'm saying.
right,
We
but the
can't forget
people that
about them.
I'm talking about, they may actually go buy this for their kids.
Well,
So that's why I want to give them that information and give them tools, because you may have the desire, but you may not have the proper tools um to be able to grasp this information for your kids and things like that. I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying that for me, there is going to be a time and place. If I'm encouraging those parents, we're not talking about them other parents right now. That's how I feel. But you can go ahead. You can
Yeah,
go
but
ahead
you
and
got
fuss
to,
about
because you can't, because then when you leave them out, then they're gonna feel left out, and that's gonna make them
it.
the
Okay, that's
situation
not
work.
that.
But then it affects the kids. That's what I'm saying. We can't have that attitude. Then it affects the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I say, it's a vicious cycle, and we can't have that mentality. We have to start finding a way to bridge the gap. And these folks that, I hate to say this, shouldn't be parents that are parents, well, that are people with kids that I can't give them the qualification of parents.
Mm-hmm.
They they have no idea because they weren't raised properly. So they're just repeating the cycle. And then when you bring a different thought process mentality, they think that you're attacking their way of life or the way the things that they know. And then they shut down and get defensive and yada yada yada. You get nowhere. So you have to try to, get through that bullshit that's been instilled in them through the government and the bullshit that they've been through in their lifestyle, in their life, and their generation that they've been wherever they are. And you have to try to get through that because there are some that can be woken up. Some, yeah, they're lost cause. It's nothing you can do. But you got to at least give the effort. Because if
Yeah.
we don't give the effort, then it's already a lost cause, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I have my mama, so I fuss like them too. Don't worry.
No, I know. Probably with a knife in your hand.
You know what?
Like y'all gonna learn today.
I mean, they need to.
Oh, come on. Caps pulled the goalie. 14 seconds left, 6 on 5, trying to tie the game up. And it's not looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game about to be over. Damn it. One unlucky bounce. Go from earning 2 points. I mean, earning 1 point to no points.
Yeah. Fantasy hockey.
No, I'm talking about in the Metro Division. They're still in second place, trying to get back in the first. With overtime games, each team gets a point, and whoever wins get the extra point. That's another great thing about hockey.
You, any other sports you need to talk about before we leave? You said you were gone. Bring that up.
Right, but we this ain't about
At this point, it's
because
not.
the people that you talking about ain't gonna hear nothing about that. But the people that I'm talking about, right? But the people that I'm talking about, they actually go by this for this. So that's why I want to give them that information and give them tools because you may have the desire, but you may not have the proper tools um to be able to grasp this information
God
and
keep
know
us strong, keep us just like a Bible. Had to work on this hustle.
that
I said my veins, the ain't the bronze. Who niggas gon' hate us, when niggas gon' love you. All you think I can trust you. So you don't want it to lie to. Nigga, I keep that shit. Keep us just like a title. Had to work on this hustle. Please the angel of run, so niggas gon' hate us, some niggas gon' love you. All you think I can trust you. So you don't want it to lie to. Gotta take that. Sign out with my love. Niggas gon' hate, I suppose, but when you the best, you the go. I got the angel of run, through the ice in my veins, the back of my clothes. I keep a punch just in case you know. What do you know? I am the best in this bitch. Really getting tired of addressing this shit. I'm at the top of the class when I stand. The floor, the lady, you know I'm legit. Every song drop is a hit, I don't miss. I don't like stop it till I'm in the dish. Put me on your track, you won't even exist. Just like Rich Homie, I keep going in. Soon I get the flow, I don't need to punch in. Once I lock in, then I'm done with the win. I'm like a wizard when I spit the pen. Put what's together, making a blend. I always knew that one day I would win. On your thought different, they go think again. They counted me up even again. Just like a fool, they just let it begin. I don't got time for a man. I'm trying to buy me a Benz. Get me a house on the hill, I got time for no friends. They say I'm setting the trend. Vision my dad, I don't need me a lens. Say what you want, I just brand. I know that you ain't in this love on the end. No need to pretend. See that I'm my man, you won't be my friend. Put a suit like, cause you wasn't like that. Keeping the job like a title. Had to work on this. I met it with my I got my veins, the end to the blood. So niggas gon' hate us, some niggas gon' love you. Love you, think I can trust you. So now I don't want it to love you. Nigga, I keep it strong. Keeping the dirt like a title. Had to work on this. So keep I met it with my I got my veins, the angel of run. So niggas gon' hate us, some niggas gon' love you. Love you, think I can trust you. So now I don't want it to love you. I wanna be in my body, this shit is out. My man got a young nigga cold. Yes, I shoot niggas that you hold. Give me a I heard niggas fly. You don't know, I better pay a fly. About to move, I better go shot. Say like, we'll go stop. I bet it's you know what's it. It's up to where with the you know, you know, keep going,
any other sports you need to talk about before we
keep going.
bring that up.
Shit, no. This bitch hard. Oh yeah, Maji. This the one right here.
Nigga, I
And this
came from the
one,
struggle,
and that's
came
for
from
the
the
niggas.
dirt like a puddle.
It's
Had to
just
work
going
on
to
the
the
hustle,
man.
hustle, get